was something to sand. I think they used like a nail file to sand it. They said this is going to make it look worse before it gets better.
Yeah. Yeah, because they said you got to kind of rub it out, and then you've got to buff it.
I'm Tim O'Hara. I've been with Lock Monday for 28 years.
Northern Michigan's all rainy, huh, Frank?
Since 1954.
What's up, Linda? How you doing? Getting ready to pop off and get going here.
CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
Speaking of pop off, some vodka would be good right now.
Oh my gosh.
Right now is the time to lock a low
Yes,
rate,
it
which
would.
can save you money every month on your new mortgage. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up,
Got Speed over on Twitch. Key for it, Matthew. Mom, what's up?
Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Get this up a little bit.
Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction
All right.
for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us.
Oh my God, Middlebury's got an annexation thing now? Jeez. Can we ever get rid of annexation stuff around here? All right, here we go. Hey, Angie. John? Yeah, it's a Friday yet. No kidding. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Do want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. And, of course, if you go to Second Amendment Arms and you mention me, get half off your range time. And you can also get 10% off in the store, and you get listener-exclusive discounts on firearms. All right, 574-25-95-95.3. Good news. I can now get to Facebook via the browser for the first time in over a week. So I will be able to actually access the Facebook page on a computer and then be able to go ahead and communicate with all of you, since it's been kind of interesting. Middle of this spat, if you will, with all these people in Elkhart, and I haven't been able to access Facebook, but it's been fun nonetheless. So there's this situation. I wanted to give you an update since we're on the anniversary of Columbine here. The woman that they were looking for has been found dead. So she is not a threat. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's a woman who was infatuated with Columbine, and they have been looking for her. There's been a national story. They've been looking for this woman. There was like this huge, massive manhunt for this lady. She traveled from Florida. She forced schools in Colorado to close after threatening violence. And it all came to an end today after she was found dead in an apparent suicide in the mountains southwest of Denver. Sol Pice, 18, was found near the base of Mount Evans in Clear Creek County, which is 60 miles southwest of Denver, according to the sheriff there. Said that she was found dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. But she's been apparently obsessed with Columbine, been running around threatening these schools, and so much so that they all shut down. Everything that I've heard in briefings does not indicate that she had any assistance or friends in the area, just a fascination with the Columbine area and the horrendous crime that went on there 20 years ago. Hard to believe it's been 20 years, considering how much we talk about it as if it were present tense. A photo taken from Echo Lake, according to the Fox 31, is no longer a threat to the community, so everybody kind of calm down on this. Before her death was reported, 20 to 30 officers were seen Wednesday morning near Echo Lake Campground during an extensive search operation there. A woman who was hiking in the area Wednesday morning told CBS Denver that she was told to leave the area because a naked woman matching the description with a gun was spotted in the area running through the woods. So she's obviously mentally disturbed and wasn't a healthy person, and is now taking her own life. So there isn't a threat or anything like that is available. So I know that a lot of people were kind of following that, were asking me about it and saying, what the heck is the deal with this lady? And we don't have all of the answers to that. All right, we don't. We just know that she was scaring everybody and actually got those schools shut down. Time Magazine also has a most influential list. It's kind of an interesting one. It's a couple of blurbs to start the program off today. So you go to Fox News. Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in 2019 list reveals exactly who is backing who in Washington, D.C., with former and current Democratic presidential candidates rallying behind Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Brett Kavanaugh's accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, who made the list as an influential person. And this is... Can I get to the point where I can be one of the 100 most influential people and not remember what actually happened to me all those years ago? Can I get a book deal out of it, millions of dollars? Can that happen? Just on not being able to remember stuff? That would be great. Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, penned a short praise of Pelosi for winning back the House and standing up to President Trump. Too often it seems that we have a surplus of bluster in our national politics and a deficit of action. And then there's Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Well, there's a deficit of action because Pelosi won't let the president actually get the things that he wants done. Let's see. Warren takes cues from AOC. While Clinton picked the safe establishment choice 2020 presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren opted to embrace Ocasio-Cortez, the freshman Democrat from New York. Did you hear this? She said something like a lump of cheese could get elected in Ocasio-Cortez's district or something like that. That's not a direct quote. That's like a paraphrase of what she said. It was something very close to that. Basically alluding to you have, as long as you have a D next to your name, you're getting elected where Ocasio-Cortez was elected. Let's see. Her commitment to putting power in the hands of people is forged in fire, Warren wrote. Okie dokie, if she says so. What else do we have here? On the Republican side, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie offered his praise for President Trump for his foreign policy achievements, which you would have to. It's hard to ignore that. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wrote a fiery tribute to Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, whose confirmation last year came after turbulent hearings and allegations of sexual misconduct, which, by the way, ended up being untrue. What else do we have? Kamala Harris stood for Christine Blasey Ford. As a counterpoint, 2020 presidential candidate Kamala Harris paid a tribute to the first accuser to step forward with the allegations of misconduct against Kavanaugh. And again, she's an accuser who says she doesn't remember anything. And all of the stuff that she said was actually disproven. So it's kind of interesting, at least disproven with witnesses, if you will. So kind of interesting to see how that all came out. But, influential people doesn't necessarily mean the best people. Time Magazine's Person of the Year doesn't mean the super awesome, ultimate, nice person either. It's just these are influential people. And by the way, it would be hard to argue that Pelosi, Ocasio-Cortez, you could even say Kavanaugh, that sort of thing, aren't influential, because they certainly are. So very interesting. I don't know about Christine Blasey Ford being influential. Maybe they're just trying to attribute her to some of the Me Too stuff or what have you, but still an interesting pick, if you ask me. All right, 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. Can also send a text message to 45364. And please put MNC at the beginning of that message. So I wanted to talk about this yesterday. I didn't get an opportunity to, and I kind of wanted to address it now. The Week has an article about that Boston Globe op-ed that we had talked about some time ago, where the Boston Globe had a post. This is last week. They had a post. It was an op-ed, and the guy had regretted not peeing in William Crystal's food when he served him at a restaurant in Cambridge. And then the article just basically kind of went on and encouraged people to go out there and harass Republicans and conservatives in the public space, which of course is a silly thing to ask for people to do if we're supposed to be living in a mature, polite, Western civilized society, which we're constantly told by everybody on the left and the right that we should be living in. And yet you consistently have these publications, and you have government elected officials, and you have candidates going out there and telling you, no, the people that we disagree with, harass them so that way they can't leave their house without feeling like they're in danger, which is absurd. But we're going to talk about this and more coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News.
Your breaking news and weather station.
I forget. Hold on a second. I got to pull up the quote here.
Visit Prime Table today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Now, home comfort experts, your air conditioning professionals, 5-day forecast.
More clouds and sunshine for today with temperatures warming up to
A glass of water could take districts like Alexandria Cortez. So she said a glass of water. That's what she said. Not a lump of cheese, although a lump of cheese would have been funnier.
But not so warm for Friday with a daytime high of only 50. We'll hold on to mostly cloudy skies and windier conditions as we wrap up this work week. For Saturday, though, we'll have partly cloudy skies, temperatures warming up to 58 degrees, and then plenty of sunshine on Easter Sunday, with temperatures even climbing near 70. A lot of nicer weather ahead.
Oh, your caps lock gets left on too, huh? It happens here sometimes.
Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Helen Kennedy.
But it has the added benefit of making it seem like you're yelling at everybody, so you seem really enthusiastic. Hey, I like that keychain, John.
Very good. I still haven't figured.
You haven't figured it out.
No, and I need to tighten the screw so that way, because I'm afraid that my keys are going to fall off. But I love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, the one that I have, which is the one that you saw, they didn't have black, so I got this new one that came out, which looked interesting to me as well. So.
Yeah, no, it is great. As soon as I have time to tighten that bolt, I will feel secure about my keys, and we will all be fine. I'm trying to figure out how to do the spacers though. So, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little practice.
Yeah.
I usually will put one on each side and then put one in between each key.
Yeah.
That's usually a good rule of thumb.
There's thick spacers and there's little spacers.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want your keys flopping around. You
Right.
kind of want them to be secure, so you just
Yeah.
kind of add spacers as need be to make it tight.
And those screws, they don't come loose, right?
They shouldn't. I've never used that one.
Okay.
They shouldn't. I mean, no, you should screw them in. They should be good. If you need to, just get some blue Loctite.
Yeah, that's the thing. I need to.
Because that's removable Loctite.
That's
All
the
you pay is
yeah.
$5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hems.com.
I mean, occasionally I'll have to tighten down one of mine, but it's not been a problem.
Sure, it's paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable.
Thank you, Speed. Appreciate it.
Easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now,
What's a good site for global warming research? I think if you look at Steve Malloy and follow the people that he tweets, you'll be in good company.
For just $5. 4hems.com/doctor.
The hammer is the courage to be the person you can be. The chisel is the respect you give.
I don't know. Did she buy the gun in Colorado? Do we know where she got the gun? I'm not sure.
The soul is responsibility that separates you from harmful actions and makes you.
I can sell key bars, Speed. I like key bars. They just they cost a lot.
Things are built.
But I think they're neat.
Where there are no tools.
But I do sell key bars, so if anybody needs key bars, I just have to pre-order them.
Every day, and Global Link Distribution supports this so that the ideals of courage, respect, integrity, responsibility, and sacrifice become the tools the amazing young people in the 5-star program use to become great. Global Link Distribution is a supplier to the RV manufactured housing.
What kind of crap is that?
Trailer industries.
Come on, Fox. You read a whole article about something, and then you don't have the picture you're even referring to.
It's our turn to see to it that our children have the tools that build greatness. Volunteer or donate at 5starlife.org.
Ceramic Z-Gloss paint.
Alrighty.
Paint coating technology and will have your car turning heads for years. Literally, the Z-Gloss process begins with polishing the
Doopy-doo.
any imperfections.
Get into the text messaging here.
A water-shedding primer foundation, a sealer to create an adhesive bonding, and a ceramic top coat that locks in and enhances the depth of your vehicle's gloss. This perfect paint process is hydrophobic, causing all liquids to bead up and roll off, not to mention it's scratch.
Okay, I almost made comment on this. Somebody sent me a text and said, there's no way a picture of that girl is of an 18-year-old. Something's fishy here. I didn't think she looked like she was 18 either. She looks much older than that. So
Tree sap, UV rays, bugs, water droplets, dirt, and anything else nature throws at it, while providing any unmatched shine that's second to none. Z-Bart, your automotive appearance and protection experts. Visit Z-Bart of South End or call 574-232-20.
could have taken the motorcycle again today, dang it. Oh wait, no I didn't, because I had to take my kid to school. Never mind.
We have to replace that concrete.
I mean, I could have not done my fatherly duties and still taken the motorcycle, I suppose.
What? I'm confused.
A1 Concrete Leveling fixes all types of concrete surfaces, so you don't have
Did you see that some people saw Jesus in the flames at the cathedral?
A1 applies their 3-step process to pump your concrete back in place.
What type of process are we talking
I don't know about that, but
and then they hydraulically pump an environmentally
that's what
friendly
some
compound
people are
over
saying.
the concrete, and once the desired level is reached, they seal off the holes with a cement mixture. The newly repaired concrete can even be used the same day.
A1 Concrete Leveling, correcting your concrete one level at a time.
Well, you don't get the same supplier as I get.
Call 574-862-46
I'm just saying.
or toll free 888.
So if anybody wants key bars, you let me know, and I'll do an order of key bars.
Don't replace it, level it.
My supplier, you can't buy stuff from, so. It burned Jesus. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. No, I think they're stretching it quite a bit, but that's me. Doesn't look like Jesus or anything to me. It just looks like some flames. No, I don't need no sidecar. I don't want no saddlebags either. I like the look of my bike. I don't want it to look like an old lady's bike. Hey, good
Afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. A couple of people referring to, in the texting in the live stream here, we're referring to the lady in Colorado who was found dead, the one who was obsessed with Columbine. I almost commented that she didn't look anywhere near 18 years old. She looks much older than that. And so a bunch of people had kind of commented and said, there's no way that woman is 18 years old. So I don't know. All I can do is tell you what the press tells me. It's entirely possible. Maybe she has swapped out her identity. I don't know, but she doesn't look 18 to me either. She looks like she's probably in her mid to late 30s. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe she's had a rough life or what have you. Who knows? She's obviously mentally disturbed, so there could be an aspect of some artificial aging there. All right, the Boston Globe's website on Wednesday, not today, last week, published, then revised, and then on Thursday evening deleted an op-ed column and said it was serving America to tamper with prominent Republicans' food. The piece titled, Keep Kirstjen Nielsen Unemployed and Eating Grubhub Over Her Kitchen Sink, advocated the harassment of Trump allies in public. It began with writer Luke O'Neill's own animating regret. A waiter in Cambridge. He once missed an opportunity, do not, but I digress. After sustaining outrage from a range of right-leaning voices, the Globe first softened, then dropped the column altogether. So there was some people there's this guy at the Daily Caller. His name is Eddie Zipperer, and he says, this is disgusting, hateful opinion piece. The Boston Globe sucks for publishing it. And that got the wheels spinning, really, with a lot of people. And it is a disgusting piece. And no, the Washington Post should not have published it. You're supposed to be a newspaper of record, okay? You're not the local Nifty Nickel, okay? For those of you who don't know what the Nifty Nickel is a free local paper that's where a lot of people would sell their stuff before Craigslist was a thing. After sustaining outrage from a range of right-leaning voices, the Globe first softened, then dropped the column entirely, an unusual move which caused critics on the left to question the newspaper's editorial integrity. O'Neill himself decried the decision to modify and delete the article, accusing the Globe on Twitter of bowing to, quote, bad faith critics who would hate them no matter what. Okay, you still advocated harassing people in public and urinating in people's food. Probably not something that a respectable publication should be putting out there. But in an interview with the Washington Post, he said, I wasn't really advocating to pee on somebody's food. That's crazy. Sure sounded like you were. Sure sounded like you were advocating that. But I do think these people should be made uncomfortable in public. Why? Because you disagree with them? So people should be made uncomfortable in public because you disagree with their politics. So let's, I guess, ask a hypothetical here. If it is okay to make people on the political right uncomfortable in public, must mean that it's okay to make people on the political left uncomfortable in public. Well, there's a lot more high-profile left-wingers than there are high-profile right-wingers, so there could be some real impact here, I guess. So at some point in time, now we've only had one example of this happening, and it was, one liberal was kind of chased out of a restaurant several months ago, and they were highlighting, basically the group was just oh wait, no, it wasn't. It was Pelosi. It was what it was. It was Pelosi. She wasn't chased out of a restaurant. She was chased down an alleyway or something like that. But it was to highlight that this is silly and it's ridiculous. People should be able to have disagreements. They should be able to go out into public and still be able to do their own thing. And, a perfect example, I think, is just when I told you the other day about the Facebook post from the Elkhart Truth about me, where they misappropriated a quote. And they made it seem like I was talking about people not showing up at the event. And that's what I was saying, that Democrats and liberals don't engage with me. I was specifically, when that quote came up, talking about social media interaction and had nothing to do with that event. But they took it and they made it seem like I was referring to all of the Elkhart Democrats and liberals as being too chickenpox to come out to the event that I had. And that's not what I was saying at all. In fact, all of my references to the people who didn't come, who were invited, and some who told us they were going to be there, was that it was unfortunate that they chose not to engage the community in Elkhart when they're Elkhart officials or candidates. They should engage in that community. But of course, the Elkhart Truth, when they took that quote, they took it from a whole separate part of the event and they put it on their headline and made it seem like, which I had actually ironically talked about how they mislead people with headlines. I talked about that at the event. And then you have a guy who was at the event from the Truth, did the exact thing. So, and then people fell for it in the exact same way that I told everybody people fall for things, by reading the headline and then maybe up to the first 3 paragraphs. And that's exactly what happens. You got all of these people in Elkhart who are super upset and super mad because they think I said something about the event and about them that I never said. So it's very interesting to kind of watch this play out. At the end of the event, when the reporter for the Truth came up and asked me, kind of what my message was, it was that you can disagree with people and still get along. It was a huge part of my program that day, that we can have disagreements as long as we have the same goal. If the same goal is, for example, if the same goal in Elkhart is to get the best education we can for kids in the Elkhart Community School District, we have different paths on how to get there. Let's have a discussion about that. Let them pitch why the referendum is a good idea. Let them pitch why the referendum is a bad idea, because we have a shared goal of improving education in Elkhart, right? And unfortunately, the people that we had been told were going to be there to support the referendum didn't show up. And so now you got a bunch of people in Elkhart running around and saying, you didn't invite anybody who supports the referendum. That's not true. A bunch of people who supported the referendum were invited, and they didn't show up. So, at that point, there's not much that I can do. I was sitting there looking for somebody to support it, and there was nobody there. It's not my fault. It's not the organizer's fault. It's the fault of the people who decided not to show. And it's unfortunate, but it happens, right? And if we can get to a point where we understand that as long as there's shared goals, if we disagree, then why can't we just have a kind, polite debate and then go about our business, have a beer, have a meal, hang out, and talk about other stuff? But now what we have in the United States of America is we have one side of the aisle and one side of the aisle only. This is only on the left, saying harass everybody I disagree with in public. Don't let them go to restaurants. Don't let them go to stores. Don't let them go to the grocery store to feed their family. Don't let them leave their house. Basically force them to be prisoners inside their own home. They're not allowed to leave, because if they leave, we're going to harass them. We're going to attack them. We're going to do what we can to make them feel uncomfortable and just make their lives miserable. That is a very totalitarian and oppressive thing to advocate. And that's what this guy with the Boston Globe advocated. And the Boston Globe published it. Now they've caught flack for that and they've deleted it, but it's too late. They've already shown who they are. And you should never have a situation where mass media and your traditional so-called esteemed media is pushing this type of behavior. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely nuts, because that's not the country that we're supposed to be living in. We used to make fun of Taiwan's parliament. I don't know if it's Congress or parliament. Remember, in Taiwan, they fight each other. Fist fights. That would be more civil than what we're doing now. MNC News Time is 3:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
News Talk 95.
She's running from her hubby.
And 95.3mnc.com.
I'm Tommy Lee in the MNC News Center, and among our top stories this afternoon.
Well, if you order from me, Speed, I will ship your complete order, buddy, including all of the accessories you can get for it. Just saying. The problem is that my supplier there has a minimum order, so I'd have to get a couple of key bars together first before I can get them. I mean, it can be anything. I can order other stuff too, but Some people say that they think that Pelosi was chased by left-wingers because she wasn't moving fast enough on docket. No, you're thinking of a different example. And the one I'm speaking of is the alleyway one that she was in, and that was a bunch of right-leaning people, I believe. I don't know what organization it was. Oh, there's a new Brexit party that opened up a lead in some European elections. Interesting. They already have a contest to design the new spire on the Notre Dame Cathedral. I don't know why you would redesign that. It seems like you would rebuild that exactly the same. Yuma, Arizona has declared a state of emergency over illegal aliens. Oh my God, there is a reality TV fan convention. Lord. Wow. Did she quit Facebook? You're kidding. And they wonder why bully policies don't work in schools. Yeah, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. We do have we got a bunch of people running around being anti-bullying activists while they bully people they disagree with politically. I might write a tweet about that later, actually. Thank you for the idea. A guy on a trip from New York has infected 38 people with measles, sorry. One of the flight attendants is in a coma. Nice. Isn't that great? Oy vey. Scientists restore the function in brains of dead pigs. Cool. We're going to have zombies now. Interesting. Huh.
Wednesday closing farm market report, and there was more red on the board today in the corn and soybean markets.
What's up, Stymie?
Favorable weather forecasts and really favorable conditions on the ground across
Stymie's
much
going to go
of the
mow.
Midwest. May corn Fractional losses.
It's growing
down
faster than
3/4
socialism in
358 1/4, and July down 3/4, 367. These 386 3/4, also down almost a penny. Almost a dime down in soybeans, continuing to lose ground there with the lack of any
a link to
substantive
what?
trade news. Maybeans 879 down 9. July off 9 1/4 at 892 1/2. Novi 912 1/4 off 8 3/4. Some bargain buying in wheat, and the May contract goes up 2 cents, 447. July 450 1/4.
Is Spider Pig a song?
Very flat in live cattle. June
What's up,
down
Kenny? How you
7
doing,
at
bud?
122.37. And June lean hogs 96.12. down
What do we got
an even
here?
dollar.
Chase
I'm Andy Eubank.
Bank.
Who's your ag today? Indiana's Farm Network.
So I'm going to Project Veritas here.
Creating your dream living spaces so you can redesign, remodel, and relax. Modern Kitchen on McKinley, east of Ash Road in Elkhart.
Oh, AOC quitting Facebook. Got it. You put the link there. Cool.
Final hour of trading with losses by healthcare companies weighing on the market.
I haven't had a chance to log in yet. I got in. I was here early, but then I had to go run errands, and I came back almost pretty late.
With
So
some regions seeing signs of strengthening after a winter slowdown. This is according to the Federal Reserve's report on economic conditions known as the Beige Book, which is a collection of anecdotes from business contexts around the country. And shares of PepsiCo jumping to an all-time high after reporting first quarter earnings topping Wall Street expectations thanks to continued growth internationally and by its Frito-Lay snacks.
not much, man. How you doing? It's been a while.
Junior says it will test a CBD infused burger in Denver on of all days, 4/20, April 20th. Dubbed the Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight, the sandwich will feature 2 beef.
You see, they got CBD oil for dogs now.
CBD oil, pickled jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, and crisp cut fries. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
Are you switching topics, Casey?
I'm switching topics.
CEO of Quicken Loans. 30% of Americans who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our
I hear you, dude. I've been swamped. Absolutely swamped. And a friggin' mosquito bite that I got last night is just now starting to itch. What the hell is that delay about? Doubt it, Mike.
Done in your house. The basement could be finished. The kitchen needs updated. Your deck is not the way you want it. Or maybe you just want an entirely new room added to your
The
home.
new Soylent
That's
Green,
what we call
exactly.
Graver Custom Remodeling. They come to your home with vision and experience that leads to some of the finest projects done in the area. Graver is a family name, and it's put on every project. There are no corners to cut. Everything is measured twice. Graver Custom Remodeling works with higher-end vendors.
It's a lot of little stories today. There's not a lot of big ones, so we're going to be bouncing around quite a bit.
And meet with the Graver team, you begin to see what custom really means. Whether you're restoring a 100-year-old farmhouse, creating your ultimate living space, or taking your kitchen to the next level, make it custom.
So Buttigieg has been saying not to get bogged down zinging Trump, says the guy who's been bogged down zinging Pence.
And now, a quick comparison from Grasshopper. When picking a phone number for business, what sounds more professional? Your personal number?
Hold on, let me give you my cell. And actually, let me get yours too, just so I don't ignore your call, you know?
Or a dedicated business number, courtesy of Grasshopper?
It was a pleasure.
I don't think so, Mike. But I'm no expert.
There's no contest. Put your best voice forward with Grasshopper, the virtual phone system for small business. Try it free at grasshopper.com.
What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes. Warm,
It's 574 Anonymous again.
like a typical bank, where you can open an account with no fees or minimums in 5
I got somebody who's calling us and just says 574 Anonymous.
I know. Should I answer it?
I don't know.
I usually don't when you're switching topics.
What's in your wallet?
Doesn't matter to me. Might be a traffic update. Maybe somebody wants to offer us some soccer mom drugs.
Channel. Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595 953. You should also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. And we are live streaming. Go to youtube.com/Casey the host, and you can go to twitch.tv/Casey the host if you want to go ahead and watch the video live stream. While you're there, please like, subscribe, follow, depending on which platform you're on. Do it all. I'd appreciate it. Do want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range. Again, they are in New Carlisle. And if you're looking for world-class training, whether you are a new shooter or you are an experienced shooter looking for a tactical advantage and to hone your skills, go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. They have on- and off-site training, some of the best you're going to get in all of Michiana. What do we have here? If made to feel in fear for my life, do I have the right to shoot the people making me afraid? Yes, but you have to have a reasonable fear for your life, and it all depends on where you're at, because some places have a requirement to retreat. It depends on the state. I should be able to. I am minding my own business, and a mob of dumb liberals confronts me with their hallucinations. My only option is to open fire. How does that work, Casey? Any idea? Like I said, you have to have a reasonable fear for your safety before you can use force. So some places in some states, some municipalities, you have a duty to retreat. I think those laws are dumb. And then in other places, you're allowed to stand your ground, hence the term stand your ground. Also, we have castle doctrines and things like that. So it just kind of depends on where you're at. But look at the local laws and that sort of thing. But, if we are dealing with people who are unarmed, of course, the public is going to make it about you shooting a bunch of unarmed people, in spite of the fact that more people are killed with bare hands than rifles every single year. Let's see. Casey, only conservatives treat people with respect. Democrats can harass and be negative, bleeping, commie, sorehead losers. So, look, in our society, yeah. I mean, that's the sad part. Now, I will say this. Somebody in the live stream pointed this out. It says, no wonder anti-bullying programs don't work, because we have this behavior here. And that is so true. The same people are running around talking about cyberbullying and how we need to get rid of bullying are the same people who are advocating bullying people that they disagree with publicly and harassing them. So, yeah, look, it's like the old Hillary ad, right? Our kids are watching. And so every time a liberal does something, they now redo that Hillary ad because kids are watching. And yeah, your kids are watching. Okay, so if you're running around telling everybody that they should harass people that you disagree with in public, and you should threaten them, you should assault them and things like that, your kids are watching that. And then they're going to learn from that. They're going to grow up and they're going to be like that. So I think that was a very good point. Very good point indeed. All right, Project Veritas. Their latest video series is about Chase Bank. And Chase Bank has been shutting down bank accounts for some time now for people of a certain political persuasion, shall we say. And those are people who are on the political right. And so Project Veritas, if you go to their website, they released a video report, which is a 10-minute thing. They have a small version of it, but you can get the full 10-minute version because they always publish their unedited files as well. So when everybody runs around and says, oh, Project Veritas deceptively edits, that's nonsense because they always publish their unedited stuff. You just have to sift through it. It's about a man whose Chase Bank account was shut down without being given a reason. The report, which includes testimony from Enrique Tarrio, the man whose Chase account was terminated, features undercover video of conversations with bank professionals discussing the account's closure. So James O'Keefe of Project Veritas says, are there unwritten Chase policies that Mr. Tarrio and others were in breach of? Debanking appears to be a new frontier in American politics. And as somebody who has been the victim of this, I can tell you it's irritating. Now, I was the victim of it because of that whole Obama policy with shutting down Second Amendment businesses and that sort of thing, not because of my politics, not yet anyway. Before the account's termination, Tarrio, whose website sells provocative conservative merchandise, spoke to Chase Bank professionals. Tarrio says that the phone operators for Chase were unable to explain why his business account was being terminated. Conversations in various Chase Bank offices were recorded and provided to Project Veritas. Multiple Chase account and bank managers were unable to assist Tarrio, saying that inquiries regarding the closure of his business account would have to be directed to the executive office. One Chase banker, Marcel Smith, said, I see nothing that indicates any reason why the account should be closed. I don't see any outstanding transactions or anything ridiculous. Chase Bank typically gives its customers a reason for account closures, according to that particular banker. He says, I've never seen them not give a response to someone whose account they had closed. An analyst with the Chase executive office, Nora, told Tario that his account was being closed for various clerical issues. In a phone conversation with Nora, which was published by Project Veritas, Tario clarifies that there were no clerical issues. But then there's some undercover audio of this, and then there's a response from Chase Bank, which we'll talk about coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. And in the next segment, Project Veritas also just won a huge legal battle. We'll talk about that next. Once again, you're listening to Newstalk 95.3 MNC.
Casey Hendrickson.
Newstalk 90.
You know you need to keep an eye on your accounts, man. Interesting thought, Mike. Software condoms, huh? They're called Barracudas.
For an isolated shower, though, as we get through the afternoon. And then for Thursday, scattered showers and thunderstorms in our forecast. As a cold front makes its way through Michiana, we'll still top out right around 64 degrees, but not so warm for Friday, with a daytime high of only 50.
Friday's going to be nipply.
And windier conditions as we wrap up this work week. For
Good
Saturday,
Friday's
we'll have
going to be
partly cloudy
chilly.
skies, temperatures warming up to 58 degrees. And then plenty of sunshine on Easter Sunday, with temperatures even climbing.
That's right. It's Easter this weekend.
A lot of
Dang
nicer
it.
weather ahead, but then rain chance return.
I forgot it. Remembered it yesterday. Well, I was reminded of it yesterday, and I forgot it again.
Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emma Kennedy.
95.3 MNC is your official school delays and closing.
So what's everybody up to this week? Anything new? Interesting?
On those brutal winter mornings. Plus, the list is updated instantly online at 953mnc.com. Powered by First Response Disaster Restoration Specialists. When winter weather hits, turn to us and stay connected. Weather, traffic, school delays, and closings. From Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your breaking news and weather station.
That's right. They could have settled. Chose not to. Good for them.
Full service siding company. We've been in business.
Like I said,
now
you're a special kind of dumb if you say that they use deceptive video.
A lot of the
A
services we
special
offer,
kind of
the
dumb.
vehicle wraps have just taken off in the last several years, and with that, our business has grown. And when
It's the
you
Signs of the
need
Times
something,
commercial. Of course, Signs of the Times is our sponsor on the stream.
When you walk into our door, when you engage with anybody on our staff, realize that you're dealing with true professionals, and they absolutely love what they do, and they want to help you and take care of your needs. Whether it's a small job, or
Guards
it's a
and
$5,000
inmates at a
job, like
prison
when somebody
trade
else
drugs
sends
and
$25
phones
just to
for
feel
sex.
Like you're a $10,000 customer. It doesn't really matter. I honestly believe one
Okie
of the most
dokie.
important things in business is taking care of people, period. And that their job, no matter how big or small, is important to us.
From wraps to signs, apparel and fleets. Display your brand with Signs of the Times in Elkhart. Visit signsofthetimeselkhart.com.
A lush, beautiful lawn takes
Selling,
hard
selling,
work,
selling.
genuine effort, and consistent fertilizer timing.
Yeah, you make some good money on eBay.
With Stay Green Turf Control, you can have the beautiful lawn you've always wanted without the hassle of figuring out how and when to treat it yourself.
Oh, that's right.
Bags of fertilizer
We did get an
and
entertainment
all
center
over
from you,
home,
didn't we?
and hoping you have the chance to put it down at just the
Well, it's
right
in
time.
storage now, but it's been working out great.
You love maintaining your lawn, but you're
That's right. I
overwhelmed
forgot
by
we got that
knowing
from you.
how to feed it. Does your lawn look like it's starving? Does it have bare spots or not look as full?
Yeah, I've
and
still
green
never
as it
seen
could
Oz.
be?
It's in my list to
You need a lawn
watch.
that looks healthy and stays green. You need the professional touch of State Green Turf Control. With a full line of services, including fertilizing, comprehensive weed control, lawn fungus and insect
Oh yeah, I know.
control,
I know you
lawn
were saying
mowing,
that. I was just
and
talking about everybody else who
aeration.
keeps
Treat your
saying
lawn
that
like it's our
that
own.
they
Find us
have
on Facebook or
selectively
call
edited video.
574-904-3025
because from the very beginning you've been able to get the
for a
unedited
hassle-free
video. It's
quote
just that you have to
today.
sift through it. So that was always the thing is that
Did you
oh
know
they're
that
just
over
deceptively
90%
editing
of meal
stuff, which is always
enhancement pills
nonsense.
Are virtually the same thing that's repackaged,
Wasn't accusing you of
redone
it.
over and over again. Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes
I
male
had
enhancement
forgotten
into the
how
21st
long ago
century.
Oz was
Something
on.
that really works.
So when
Now,
I
you
saved it
need
to my
try
HBO
Noxitrol,
account
the explosive,
a few weeks
all-natural
back, I was
male
like, "Holy
enhancement formula
crap,
that will
that's
unlock
old."
your performance in
I'd
the
forgotten that
bedroom
it
to a
happened
level
so
you
long
couldn't
ago.
dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitrol is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitrol free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitrol dose as directed.
Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-992-9470. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-992-9470.
Oh my God, there's a
That's
list of Hollywood
800-992-9470.
celebrities who donated to 2020 Democrats. Like, we need a list.
Ringing in the middle of the night, but neither do
Just
they
have a
want
list of
to
the
be
people who
snoring.
didn't.
Snoring is just like a smoke alarm warning you of a more serious problem related to a sleep breathing disorder, sleep apnea. Snoring is just one of the symptoms, but it can be treated. The doctors at Mahoney Family Dentistry offer relief from those suffering from snoring or sleep apnea. Whether you are looking for an alternative to an uncomfortable sleep CPAP machine or find yourself tired every morning, you can rely on Mahoney Family Dentistry for help. A better experience.
Mayor Pete, capitalism has let a lot of people down.
You're invited to the LaPorte County GOP's Lincoln Day Dinner, Wednesday, April 24th at the LaPorte Civic Auditorium with featured
How many
speaker,
people
United
has
States
socialism
Senator
let down?
Mike Braun. Tickets are $50 per person for general admission or $100 each for the VIP reception before the presentation. Other elected officials and candidates will be in attendance as well. Deadline to register is this Friday, April 19th. Call 219-229-6182.
Oh my
for
God,
tickets.
Susie, that's
This ad was
terrible.
paid for by the LaPorte
So Chase had a
County
terrible
Republican Party.
reputation anyway, and then Chase took over my old bank, which is Washington Mutual, and we had problems just shutting down that account as well.
95.3 Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Oh, Maple Syrup Fest is coming.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Do want to remind you about the annual Radiothon for 5 Star Life. It is set for next Thursday and Friday. Again, 5 Star Life serves thousands of middle school students throughout Michiana by providing schools with a variety of academic, leadership, and character programming that addresses the sources of negative mindsets. And these programs include their video curriculum for the classrooms. I remember when they were just experimenting with that. And that thing has really taken off. Good to see that that program is so successful. Of course, they have their after-school program they're most known for, as well as their leadership camps and day trips. Learn how you can help make a difference during the 5 Star Life Radiothon next Thursday and Friday right here on 95.3 MNC. What is that, year 8 or 9 for doing that? 9. Year 9, because you only did it one time when I wasn't here. I came in on the second year, so... we do it every year. We're proud to do it every single year. What a great organization that they are. Of course, 5 Star Life Radio is on Saturdays here on 95.3 MNC as well. All right. Here we go. We got Project Veritas talking about Chase Bank. Of course, some people on the live stream are sharing their Chase Bank stories, which have been pretty awful, by the way. Undercover audio from a conversation with a Chase employee working in Chase Corporate Global Media Relations reveals that Chase Bank makes political judgments about their customers. The journalist asked, I don't want to do business with anyone who does business with Steve Bannon or any of these alt-right people, and that's just one of my prerequisites. Chase says, right. As far as I'm concerned, we're not connected with Steve Bannon. The journalist then says, do you have standards in place that would preempt such a relationship with anyone like Steve Bannon? Chase says, oh, definitely. The journalist then says, that's what I'm calling to inquire about. Tell me more. So the Chase employee says, right. So, I mean, Chase is not involved with any, alt-right people or anything. I really can't name names, but it's basically like we don't get involved with any of that. The journalist then says, I don't expect for you guys. I'm not talking about who you guys give money to. Chase then says, no, just any business relationships, period. The journalist says, really? Okay, so I mean, on my end, I'm talking about people like Trump supporters, for instance, the MAGA whatever, make whatever the hell those types of people, I mean individuals. Chase then says, right, I know what you mean. But like I said, the call is being recorded, monitored, so I can't get too political and say I don't support these people or this, but any kind of business entity, people like that, no moral character or anything like that, the bank usually doesn't get involved with that. So that was on the whole thing here. So Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe believes that transparency could clear up issues like Mr. Tario's. Remember, this is a guy who sells conservative shirts and clothing. And his account was closed. And they never gave him a reason. Now, he's not the only person, all right, because Gavin McInnes has also talked about how Chase Bank, he's suing Chase Bank, by the way. They're in the middle of a lawsuit. And Gavin McInnes is, obviously, he's a conservative pundit. But he founded the Proud Boys, which has been demonized falsely since they were established, because they were established basically as a joke. I mean, all kinds started as a joke, and then it became the men's club, and then people started accusing them of being a white supremacist group, even though 30% of their membership is minority. And it's really interesting to see kind of what's happened to that. But Gavin McInnes has also had to deal with that from Chase Bank. Now, I will say that there's been an update in this. So Chase Bank Communications Officer Patricia Wexler responded to the Project Veritas report by saying that we do not close accounts due to political affiliation. Despite what was described in the video, that was not someone from Global Corporate Media Relations. As I'm sure you can appreciate, I'm not able to share any personal details on anyone's individual or business account. So Chase Bank, they've contacted Project Veritas and said, well, the person in the video, which was undercover video, is not a person from the Global Corporate Media Relations like it was presented. So if that is the case, then we don't know who that person is at this point in time. But they were affiliated with it appears, Chase Bank. So Project Veritas, to their credit, has published that response from Chase Bank. But also Project Veritas is just won in federal court. In June of 2016, Project Veritas released a video where Steve Wentz, the president of Wichita Teachers Union, made outrageous comments about how he treats students who give him trouble. Basically, Wentz had just alluded to beating up students and things like that. In June of 2017, Wentz filed a 66-page lawsuit in a U.S. District Court in Florida. He said that we recorded him illegally and that we defamed him, meaning Project Veritas. He told the Wichita Eagle at the time, it's a lie and it is something that needs to be addressed. Well, today, a judge in Florida addressed it, throwing Wentz's case in the garbage. So Wentz, I can't read you the quote, okay? The quote is so full of profanity that I can't even make it coherent by bleeping myself. So just understand that he said some unsavory things about doing harm to students, all right? Well, he's then accused Project Veritas of lying and making all of this up. So here is the order from Judge G. Kendall Sharp. Wentz is unable to sufficiently identify a false statement published by the defendants, that's Project Veritas, that plausibly supports his defamation claims. The edits do not improperly and illegally alter the meaning of Wentz's words. Notably, many of the alleged defamatory statements made by Project Veritas and James O'Keefe, both in the Wentz video and in the written content, are recitations of Wentz's own admitted actions and statements. The defendants did not commit defamatory acts against Wentz and did not illegally record conversations. Project Veritas has never illegally recorded a conversation, not once. So Project Veritas, thus the court will grant summary judgment in favor of Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. So as hard as it was to spend the roughly $350,000 defending ourselves in this case, it was worth every penny. We could have settled this case out of court, but that is not what we do. We fight for the First Amendment and the truth. Principles matter. I can assure you right now, we will never surrender our principles and we will never settle. So Project Veritas talks about how they were offered to settle out of court, but they spent $350,000 defending themselves and won. So the guy accused them of, again, deceptively editing the video, which Project Veritas has never done. And they always provide the unedited video, and he lost his case. So he went into court, got his butt kicked, and Project Veritas has won yet again. So go to projectveritas.com. Go ahead and take a look at those stories. Of course, they'll be in the Daily Show Prep on theburningtruth.us after the program today. More coming up next.
WTRC-FM and HD1. Niles.
PayPal is the worst company in the history of worst companies. I hate PayPal. Hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them. Can't stand them. You will hear me say that PayPal is the devil repeatedly. It's awful.
Rich police in Colorado say Sol Paisa, Florida, took her own life before police could take her into custody.
They shut down my business for like 9 months
from Miami Monday and legally
with that whole Obama thing.
She arrived in the state. Jefferson County Sheriff Jeff Schrader says Pais was infatuated with Columbine and apparently acted alone.
Everything that I've heard in briefings does not indicate that she had any assistants or friends in the area.
The threat from Pais came days before the community marks 20 years since the Columbine tragedy, where 13 people died. This investigation is continuing, Rich.
You're an all-migrant who entered the U.S. illegally.
Casey, Casey, I currently have a personal Chase checking account. One thing that's out about this entire situation is that I moved veteran, and because I was able to produce a DD-214, I was able to upgrade my checking from their low tier to the medium tier and don't have any fees at all. Let's see.
The court has already agreed to block the law from taking effect. Now the clinic wants the justices to strike down the law.
Yeah, I just
regulation requires abortion.
we never wanted to deal with Chase. It was in the middle of Chase getting hammered with a bunch of other stuff. This is so long ago, folks. This is before I was in radio. And when they took over my bank, which was Washington Mutual, our free checking account became a paid checking account, and then they wouldn't close it, and they were trying to keep the money in the account. It was a battle and a brouhaha is what it was, but
4 points lower at closing.
it was irritating to say the least, and I vowed I wouldn't do business with him in the future, and I haven't done any business with him since.
This is Michiana's breaking news at weather station.
Yeah, I get that. I've got one PayPal account that they still let me have because all of my other PayPal accounts are banned. They haven't figured out that it's me on this one. They shut down my wife's PayPal account in her business because she was married to me. And she used to do all of her photography business through PayPal, and she had, of course, the business card and everything. And then she went to use the business card one day, and it was declined. And she goes, "I've got a ton of money in there. What's going on?" So she called them up, and they asked her if she was married to me. She said yes. And they said, "Well, we closed your account because you're married to him. And since we closed his account, we think that he might be using your account to go around his ban." So they just banned her, is what they did. And of course, when they did that, they kept our money in the account for an extended period of time. And because they were my payment processor on my website, I had to shut down my business website right as we were really getting hot. And because we were doing a couple thousand a week, I think, in business, and it was stopped. It was all stopped. So then it took me a bunch of time to find a payment processor that would work with my website and everything else. It was a hassle. So.
This is the most diverse roster since the Leprechaun became the school's mascot in 1965.
420 Fest in Baroda, Michigan on Saturday.
And third African Americans to hold the role.
Get to see Black Leprechaun. That's amazing. I think the kids are gonna love that. I'm gonna love that. I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Out in the South Bend community, people say they're happy the university is embracing diversity.
Kylie Walker reporting.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. It's Easter week with awesome breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Also open 6:30 a.m.
I'm watching listeners for the Bear interact with how terrible Jason Warren and Ron's taste in music are, and they're talking with Darcy about it. It's funny. It's hysterical.
Well, that's their version of me being told that I, push agendas.
Right.
On the radio station.
Yeah.
I don't.
Except for the times that you do.
Say what?
Except for the times that you do. You always got to give yourself an out. It's like me. I never push an agenda, John. Ever. Except for the times that I do.
And the day's biggest news, all in the palm of your hand.
Female leprechaun will look really weird with a beard. It was, the black leprechaun comment was pretty funny. Guy said he was looking forward to seeing a black leprechaun. I mean, leprechauns can be black, I would assume, right? I didn't know that they couldn't be.
Polybags at 4 lengths. Locally raised meats made to order American classics like walleye, bluegill, haddock, hand-cut Chairman's Reserve steaks, slow-smoked ribs, double bacon, double cheeseburgers.
This is really funny. Snopes fact check the Babylon Bee.
10 holes of 4 Lakes Golf Course on Highway 12 in Edwardsburg, and we are open to the public. Check out our daily specials today.
So the Babylon Bee published a video of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez playing The Price is Right, and she guessed free on everything. And Snopes fact checked it. Oh Lord.
In Carrier factory rebates, or get up to 72 months 0% interest financing on qualifying.
And he used to have a black leprechaun. Well, tell that guy. He's never seen one. I saw black Irish people when I was in Ireland. I mean, I would assume you can be a leprechaun and be any color you want.
Largest mortgage lender. Spring is prime home buying season. So if you're thinking about buying a home, right now is the time to lock a low rate, which can save you money every month on your new mortgage. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate is protected for up to 90
Good
days
Lord.
while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our...
Now they're talking about how Assassin's Creed will be used to help rebuild the Notre Dame Cathedral. Because I guess it was an extremely detailed replica of it in the video game.
Talk radio that talks with you, not at you. Casey Hendrickson. News
Interesting.
Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Oh no, here we go. CBD. Here we go.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of their message. Also want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range. You know what? Spend the day at the range for half price. Just mention me. Get half off. Go to secondamendmentarms.net. Learn more. So the website Snopes, which used to be a respectable fact-checking website, Snopes used to deal with the chain emails. Now, for those of you out there who are younglings and don't know what chain emails are, those chain emails are the things that we used to get before there was a thing called social media. And it was when your friend would send you this letter, and it would have this huge, long story in it. It always included big, bold, colored text. And sometimes it featured Comic Sans fonts. And it would tell you some story about how some politician did something or something like that. And they were always false. Okay? People should have known better, but they didn't. So a website called Snopes.com was established to go ahead and track down the origins of these chain letters and these rumors on the internet and debunk them. And that's the whole way that thing got started. Well, a couple of years ago, Snopes decided that they wanted to be a political fact checker. And they moved away from doing these normal fact checks, and they went to political fact checking. And what they did is they hired a woman who said that she hated Republicans and conservatives. Since then, Snopes has been a garbage pile of junk website that really they keep getting caught fact-checking things incorrectly, okay? Because it's now a biased website, whereas it didn't used to be a biased website. So now, there's another website out there called the Babylon Bee. And if you don't follow the Babylon Bee, you should, because the Babylon Bee is the political rights onion, right? It is a satirical publication, and they are very funny. And they come up with some really good stuff. And so the Babylon Bee published a thing that had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as a guest on The Price is Right. And every time The Price is Right had one of their feature collections that you'd have to guess the price on, she always said free. Okay? So it was a funny bit, right? Because she wants to give away everything for free. So it's an hysterical bit from a satirical website, and I kid you not, Snopes.com fact-checked it. If you're going to be taken seriously as a fact-checking website, you can't fact-check satirical websites. It'd be like me fact-checking The Onion every single day. It makes no sense. But they did anyway, and I don't know why, but they chose to, so do with it what you will. I don't know how many of you out there do the CBD thing. I have tried CBD, although kind of like the weaker formulation to see if it helps with a couple of things. I'm still evaluating it to see if I have any benefits from it. But you all know that I have issues sleeping, and so I'm interested in seeing how that helps. But there is a possibility, ladies and gentlemen, of a CBD burger. It's a shame, John, you're not doing your fast food podcast anymore, because we could totally do this as a taste test right here on the show. The burger chain, which is Carl's Jr. Now, Carl's Jr. is the better version of Hardee's. All right. Same company. Carl's Jr. is better. So Carl's Jr. has announced that they are going to offer burgers infused with CBD oil at one Denver, Colorado location. I wonder why they picked Denver. This is going to happen on April 20th. The special, are you ready? The Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight will be $4.20. This is why I love Carl's Jr., all right? For those of you who've never experienced Carl's Jr., first of all, their food is way better than Hardee's. Second of all, they have attitude. Jack in the Box has attitude, and Carl's Jr. has attitude. No one else has attitude. Everybody else is just plain Jane. But those two places who make great food have attitude, and I love that. Let's see, what do we got here? The burgers won't actually contain any CBD, according to CNBC. About 5 milligrams of the cannabis-derived oil will be mixed into a special version of Carl's Jr.'s Santa Fe sauce that tops the burger, along with the jalapenos and pepper jack cheese. So they're going to mix it in the sauce and put the sauce on the burger, not the actual burger patty itself. Still, those CBD sauce burgers are technically a violation of Food and Drug Administration rules that prohibit the mixing of cannabis-derived products like CBD oil with food or drink, but they are yet another sign that the CBD fad is overwhelming prohibitionist policies, at least in places where CBD is legal at the state level. Unlike THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, CBD does not get you high, but it can cause anxiety, some people say. I don't know. I've not known anybody who's used CBD who's gotten anxiety from it, but I don't know a lot about it. It's legal in many states where marijuana remains illegal, can be readily purchased online or in retail stores, including some pharmacies, and has attracted the interest of pharmaceutical companies, although its usefulness as a treatment for just about everything remains subject to debate. Legally, CBD remains in a bit of a limbo. Last year's Farm Bill, Congress legalized hemp and other cannabis-derived products like CBD that contain less than 0.3% THC by weight, but that hasn't stopped state-level enforcement efforts like the raid by state troopers in Ohio who seized 55 gallons of CBD oil from a truck on Interstate 70 in February, or the local cops in a Dallas suburb who raided a tobacco shop in March and seized hundreds of pounds of CBD oil in various forms. So, Carl's Jr.'s $4.20 burger deal is mostly an attempt to score free advertising, but if anybody's in Colorado and happens, I actually know somebody in Denver. I may have to contact her. My old producer's in Denver, and have her get one of these burgers and do a live stream about how that burger tastes. Because I don't know how many of you have taken CBD oil, but I can tell you this. It tastes like bong water. It's gross. It's awful. Which, it might work. Okay? Joe's pretending he doesn't know what bong water tastes like. All right. Joe, have you smelled somebody who reeked of used marijuana?
I have. Those are mine, John. Oh. Excuse me.
You stealing from my poor producer who only makes like a pittance of oh man, shame on you. Stealing your whole headphones, man.
But yeah, I have smelled someone who has reeked of it.
All right,
I did go
so like they kind of smell like a
school.
skunk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Take that smell, put it in dirty brown water and drink it. That's what it tastes like. It's god awful.
That makes sense.
You could not have made this burger without jalapenos. Because the only thing that tastes worse than CBD oil is probably cooked jalapeno. So
I don't know because I don't eat jalapeno.
Fresh jalapeno is so good. Cooked jalapeno just I don't know why it tastes like sometimes when you go to the bathroom and you wipe and there's chunks, like that's what it tastes like.
You know what we could do for Taste Test Friday? Get bong water
Denver?
And CBD oil.
We have to do it in Michigan though. Okay. I'm going to have to broadcast to Michigan that day.
We'll do a remote on Friday.
Do I have a friend who can legally obtain bong water in Michigan?
I'm sure I have a friend who could do it.
Legally obtain bong water.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure that everybody understands if we do this, it's going to be legal.
Of course it will be.
Okay, we'll have to do that. So if anybody's in Denver, I'm going to contact my old producer about this. If anybody's in Denver, I would love to watch your videos as you consume the 420 burger, which, again, will come out on April 20th, a couple of days, and will cost you $4.20 from Carl's Jr. And then I will pay for you to send me a superstar sandwich back because that is still one of the best burgers in all of burgerdom. And no, Hardee's does not have an equivalent to it. I always get people going, oh, Hardee's and Carl's Jr. the same thing. Only people who've never had Carl's Jr. say that. I just want to make it crystal clear. Only people who've never had Carl's Jr. say that they are the same thing. I do miss that attitude in advertising, though. I miss Jack in the Box advertising, and I miss Carl's Jr. advertising. I really do. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Keeping you connected with breaking news on the
Radio at 95.3 FM.
Speed volunteers.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3.
You haven't partied right unless you consume bong water, whether it was on purpose or accidental.
Have you ever seen that Vine of the kid who's like,
Yes.
no, I can do it myself this time. And he
Yes.
just blows.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's a good one.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
To Thursday, thunderstorms likely and rain much of the day. High temperatures will be early, around 62 through mid-morning, then falling into the 50s by the afternoon, and temperatures keep falling into the lower 40s by early Friday. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy with a high around 50 degrees. The weekend is sunny and dry. 58.
We have a legitimate offer.
A legitimate offer to drink bong water? Oh my. We've got somebody on the phone who wants to do it.
Well,
I think Joe needs to consume it because Joe needs to know what CBD oil tastes like. I have consumed both. Huh?
Why couldn't I just do CBD?
Because you have to have the bong water to know that the CBD oil tastes like bong water. Otherwise, you're just assuming that it does.
All right, well, thank you, Mike.
That's a Twitch live stream. Hi, Tracy.
Probably not legit, but we do.
Welcome to the stream. We've been offered to drink bong water.
The offer did give us a pretty good chunk.
The planner. It's tax time, which means everyone is feeling, not so great. But did you know that you could change that not so great
Okay.
while at the same time preventing your kids from having to?
Woo, damn.
That's fair.
And I know this because I did.
Thank you.
When you deposit money into Indiana's college choice,
According to Mike, CBD oil is like Scotch, sort of acquired taste.
$1,000 tax credit. That tax credit's like
Okay, Scotch is not an acquired taste. There's good Scotch and there's bad Scotch, and there's
CBD oil and bad CBD.
and there's people. Okay, maybe I don't know. I've only had two kinds.
Joe's dealer has the studio.
What's that?
Job's dealer has the studio number.
Dude, I'm telling you, if we had a legal weed sponsor,
Right.
and they were the studio sponsor, and the 95.3 MNC logo had, instead of the period, it was a leaf. Dude.
I know the Bear has a CBD sponsor.
Well, and Nutrition HQ sells CBD oil. Now, they're not advertising anymore because they're being sold, but
the manufacturer of these military earplugs recently paid $9.1 million to resolve
that would be
claims
funny
the
as hell.
earplugs were defective, potentially exposing service members to
Z-Bart,
damaging
by the
sound
way.
levels that
Z-Bart!
resulted in hearing loss or tinnitus.
If you,
A loved one were issued earplugs and were diagnosed with tinnitus or hearing loss,
have somebody smoke weed in your car or spill their bong water in your car and it stinks,
call 800
go to Z-Bart, get an interior detail, get that smell out.
free legal consultation and to see if you may be eligible to file a claim. Time restrictions may apply, and you pay
Yuppity, yuppity, yup.
recovery in your favor. So call 800-548-7132 now. Again, 800-548-7132. That's 800-548-7132.
Tracy with all the emojis.
Lawn takes hard work, genuine effort, and consistent fertilizer timing. Or does it? With Stay Green Turf Control, you can have the beautiful
So I
lawn
told
you
you
always wanted
I was
without the
complaining
hassle of
about
figuring
Nintendo
out
not
how
releasing
and when
any
to treat
of
it
their
yourself.
new Smash
Yeah.
character
Are you
footage.
done
They
buying
released
heavy
it
bags
last
of
night.
fertilizer?
It comes out today.
And then hope
All
you
right.
have a chance to put it down at
I'm happy.
If
You
you're
know what
like
I'm
me,
doing when I
you
get
love
home
maintaining
tonight.
your lawn, but you're overwhelmed
Good deal.
by the wind and how to feed it.
Did y'all see that Zach Miller retired? I mean, we expected it, but man, it's tough to see somebody lose their career. So talented just because of that horrible injury he had.
Stay Green Turf Control. With a full line of
He's a
services,
tight end with the
including
Bears.
Fertilizing, comprehensive weed control, lawn fungus and insect
Really
control,
good tight
lawn
end.
rolling and aeration.
Had this
Treat your
god
lawn
awful
like
knee
it's our
injury.
own. Find us on Facebook.
It wasn't last season, it was the season before, but it got so bad. It was ugly.
For a hassle-free quote today.
This is Dave Ramsey here to talk about Rain Drain. Rain Drain is your local dealer for the amazing Leaf Guard no-clog gutter system.
No, CBD oil for pets is not a great idea. I'm not a fan of that because you don't know what the hell's happening. So, no, I agree with you.
Built to stay clog-free.
No, you still can't. It says it's still in the approval process, so it's being evaluated. Last I checked, which was last night. So I keep checking for you, though. Keep checking.
Zero, because I don't have to.
They have citrus CBD. I have arguments with my kids daily, all three of them, one of which I work with.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. So let's just say, all right, you're rolling along, got the windows down, you're cruising, you're playing Indie Club by 50 Cent. You're consuming your CBD oil burger because you made the trip to Colorado to get it on 420. But your friend is a klutz, and your friend lets the CBD skank juice out of the burger drip all over the inside of your car. And now your car is not only dirty, not only smells like a greasy hamburger, but it smells like used bong water. There's one way to get rid of it. Just go to a professional. Go to Z-Bar to South Bend. Okay, they'll take care of it. All right? Trust me, they'll take care of it. They will get rid of that rank out of your car. I know because we have had many smells in our cars that we were not able to get rid of on our own. Tried. You know, we had that little foamy carpet stuff, and you got that stupid little scrubber on the tip of it, which for some reason always smells like pee, and we don't know why. And yeah, it's just, it never works. Just go to Z-Bar to South Bend, because when they do the interior detail, there's no more stains. There's no more stink. All right. Well, I should not say that they get every single stain out, but they got rid of all of our stains. And because you never know, there might be a stain that they can't get out. But the car smelled and looked brand new. Okay. The smell, the awful stuff that's all over the place, the various items that your children will hide in the seat cushions and things like that and grow mold and fester. That stuff is gone. And the vehicle is clean. It is sanitized. It looks great. You feel better driving it. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing like having a clean car. A lot of us have not had a clean car in quite some time, and we forget what that feels like. But then you get into a brand new clean car, and it looks so good, and it smells so good. You feel good. You feel better about yourself, and you are just going to have a better day. Go to Z-Bar to South Bend, get the interior detail. Make sure you get Germ Defender while you're doing that to go ahead and keep your family healthy, and let them know that I sent you. All right, what do we got here? Legit, this happened just now, okay? This just happened. Communist Joe's dealer called the studio and offered up some bong water for us. It was a legit offer to use bong water for the taste test so that way Joe can consume the bong water, and then we could have a CBD oil shootout, and Joe would realize that the CBD oil tasted like bong water. Was it your dealer who said that bong water, or not bong water, but that CBD oil is like scotch, that it's an acquired taste? Was it your dealer that said that, or was that somebody else?
Wasn't my dealer, but the caller who called in, yes.
Air quote, dealer.
My dealer.
Yeah.
Did call in and say that CBD is an acquired taste like scotch.
Do they have CBD flutes? Like, can you go get like CBD flutes? Like, you go to like a brewery and they have like little flutes of all the beers that they make and get all the different CBDs, and you just have like a little sample of CBD. Oh yeah, I like that one. It's got some almond notes.
There are places that'll be like, yeah, here, try this one, try this one, try this one. There are places that legitimately do that.
My mom was telling, because my mom's in Vegas, and of course marijuana is legal there now. But she was like, there's citrus CBD out there, which I guess makes sense because that would mask the god awful taste of it.
There's citrus everything though.
That's well, yeah, because it's so strong that it helps mask the awfulness of a lot of stuff. It's one of the reasons that people, squeeze like lemon and limes and things like that in their domestic beers and things like that, just to get rid of the horrible flavor. So, go figure. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595953. Is that your dealer calling back?
Do they have a dealer?
Do they have citrus infused bong water?
I'll ask.
Okay,
I'll ask.
I appreciate that. All right. Pete Buttigieg's national service plan is a really bad idea whose time might have come, says Reason.com's Nick Gillespie. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg told Rachel Maddow recently that national service will become one of the themes of my 2020 campaigns. That sounds familiar. A lot of people are calling him the White Obama. And, look, the Obama machine is behind him. A lot of that Obama machine from Chicago is behind Pete Buttigieg. And a lot of the things that he is saying, the way that he is saying them, are very similar to the way that Obama campaigned. As the MNC clip shows, the defining element of the plan put forward by the Afghanistan war veteran and mayor of South Bend, Indiana, is its vagueness. In fact, it's not even clear if Buttigieg would make a year's worth of service for high school grads mandatory or not. At one point, he says that he hopes to make it, if not legally obligatory, then a social norm. If not legally obligatory. Oh boy. Which can be read both as wanting to make it mandatory or simply a cultural expectation. There's no mention of a national service plan in his book, The Shortest Way Home. Of course, you won't find policy positions all that much in there, at least not hardcore ones. And there's no mention of it on his campaign website either. In fact, I couldn't find a list of any positions or policies on his website, Nick Gillespie says. As I've said before, that is because Pete Buttigieg does not have a platform. Right? People are asking me, what's his platform? The answer is nobody knows because he doesn't have one. It's too early for him to have a platform. A lot of people run on not having platforms. Obama didn't have a platform. That's the whole thing, remember? He was the guy who could say anything. Remember that? And suggesting that the Los Angeles Times' Doyle McManus is right when he claims that the candidate has everything except positions on major issues. Ooh, LA Times wrote that about him? I didn't know that. So the LA Times wrote an article about Pete Buttigieg that says that he has everything except positions on major issues. Well, okay, I would disagree with that because he does have a position on the Electoral College. He wants to get rid of it. He does have a position on guns. He wants to take away your right to own various forms of firearms. So he has positions on some issues. So I would disagree with the LA Times' position on that, but it is interesting that they said that about him. Buttigieg invoked the World War II service of John F. Kennedy and George H.W. Bush and his own military service as positive examples of privileged people mixing with people they otherwise would never get to know. Interesting. He implies that JFK served with African Americans, but the military was segregated during World War II. It was interesting. That sort of service across class, geographical, and racial lines, he argues, is good for America, especially considering the lack of social cohesion. Which, of course, here's the thing. His social ideas are not the same as many of yours. So when he talks about social cohesion, he means you conforming to his idea, not just having a call to service, right? He says characterizes not just Donald Trump's presidency, but our larger era. Oh, so Donald Trump's presidency is why we have a lack of social cohesion. That makes a lot of sense. So what about before Donald Trump's presidency when we didn't have social cohesion? What about after Donald Trump's presidency when we still won't have social cohesion? Rachel Maddow piped up that she has long struggled with the civilian-military divide, and the easy answer is there should be a draft. See, it's always been liberals. This goes back to George W. Bush. Liberals have been pushing the military draft. Do you know why they want to push the military draft? Because it's unpopular, and it will be a death nail for many Republicans. That's the whole point. You push the draft, you get people to turn on the military. Americans are extremely patriotic and love the military. If they turn on the military, then you can go ahead and take away the pro-military vote from the right, where it almost exclusively lies. Even as she acknowledged that the Pentagon is firmly against conscription, believing it undermines morale and would pull in unqualified people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, interesting stuff. Roger, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
How's it going, bro?
It's going well. What's up?
Oh, man, you guys are so awesome, dude. Man, I'm wishing Pete well for the local boy, the local hometown hero. But, he's attacking some people he shouldn't need to attack.
Yeah, like who?
To just do his thing, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he should just do his thing. Like, what thing should he do, though?
Well, he got attacked in Iowa about the Sodom and Gomorrah thing.
Yeah.
And,
by attacked, I mean one guy spoke up in a venue and was removed, yeah.
But it's pretty much his platform.
Yeah.
That just because he's gay, that's his reason for running for president.
It's yeah. I mean, that's been a big part of it. Sure. I mean, a lot of people have made a big issue of that. Yeah.
He's cool. He's all right. Just like him, I'd vote for him. He's from South End. I'm from South End.
Oh, so you're one of those Fairweather fan people?
Well, a little bit. I mean, but I think he's fake too, because I called in before about the name problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
he changed his name. Did you see that? He changed his name. You go to his campaign headquarters, it says Boot Edge Edge. It's a name change for him. So that's how he's going to get around that problem. He solved it by making it a campaign slogan.
Always have a different name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always have a different name, here and there.
Right. Well, hey, Roger, I'm running a little bit late, man. I got to bounce on you. You're kind of fading in and out anyway. Hey, I appreciate it. Go ahead and get us some bong water when you get a chance. Appreciate it. We'll sample it. Have Joe sample it, I should say. I won't sample it. I've already been there. MNC News Time is 4:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news at Weather Station.
We had a legitimate CBD dealer call in and say that she would love to bring you some CBD that she saw. Dude, let's do it! Let's do it! Called Xylus? Hey, let's do it. It's organic and pure. Those are quotes. Is there non-organic and non-pure CBD oil? I don't know enough about it. I'll be right back, folks. I don't know enough about it. They're going to play an ad? Dude, she wants to do a sample of it? Hell yeah. That'll be our, not this Friday, but we can do it right if we're not here Friday. Yeah, CBD oil taste test Friday.
Bullying and more. The council chairman says they are honored that elected leaders will welcome Muslims to Lansing. He says the commitment to inclusivity and justice will inspire many to become active citizens who can make a positive difference in their own communities.
95.3 MNC's Heather Starr reporting. And the Pokagon Band of Potawatomi Indians and Four Winds Casinos are donating 1,000 meals this week to people across northern Indiana and southwest Michigan. ABC 57 reports that many of the meals will be delivered through Feeding America and will include a whole ham, green beans, corn, au gratin potatoes, and lemon bread. Feeding America will deliver the meals to food pantries and programs and to senior centers in Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties.
Oh, cool.
They'll also give meals to elders.
It's pretty. It's blue.
Fox News, I'm
You know
Roger
me, I like
Stern.
shiny
Our
things.
18-year-old teenager obsessed with the Columbine shooting apparently took her own life, ending a manhunt in days of uncertainty in Colorado. Fox's Jeff Manasso, President Trump touting the economy, saying incomes are rising for workers.
Rising most quickly for the lowest income Americans.
The president at a White House conference on opportunity zones. A former Michigan state trooper is convicted of involuntary manslaughter. He tasered a 15-year-old teenager who was driving an all-terrain vehicle and then crashed. The former trooper said he thought the teen had been reaching for a gun. The officer had been accused of misusing his taser before. This is Fox News.
Oh. You just missed a big blunder. A big blunder? Oh, what did they do? They had about 12 seconds of dead air. Nice. Awesome.
With a special menu including roast leg of lamb.
This is not really that
big of a blunder, but it's a blunder.
Well, see, those people who read the Elkhart Truth don't even know how much we make fun of Fox News because they think that we're owned by Fox News because they're dumb. Hells yeah, we'd make more money. And I would be featured on the Fox News network a hell of a lot more than I am now, which is not very much.
Your single source for personal protection. Visit them on 3rd Street in Goshen and check out their full line of quality handguns, shotguns, rifles,
Ooh, Frank says, I spilled bong water before on my carpet back in the day. Horrible! Yeah. It ain't fun, man.
Your single source for personal protection. Stop in today for the largest selection of handguns, AR rifles, ammunition, accessories.
Excuse-moi. I'm gassy today. A nonprofit paid $5,000 in bail for a man charged with domestic abuse. He went home and then allegedly killed his wife that night.
Summertime, what's the time? Anytime's the right time with R&B Car Company. Here's why. Voted as Indiana's #1 and the nation's 7th largest independent volume dealer.
Well,
R&B buys smart so you save money on every vehicle. See for yourself at rbcarcompany.com. No gimmicks, fast and friendly service, and the best deal bottom line with a free Carfax on every vehicle and a maximum allowance on trade-ins. Now's the time to get to R&B Car Company. No matter your needs of a vehicle, any kind, it's anytime with R&B Car Company. Go to rbcarcompany.com.
This report, powered by Home Comfort Experts, plumbing, heating, and
a
cooling.
giant wooden Connect 4.
Call 255-4600.
Is she on his news channel or stuff, Casey?
Don't they have? Yeah, they have that at the Kids Museum at Silver Beach. They have that.
You need to call office number, not the channel number. Yes.
Among the Dow gainers today, Goldman Sachs and Intel, while the
No
Dow
problem.
decliners include IBM, Merck, and Pfizer, with the Dow closing down.
What were they looking for?
Nasdaq down 4, S&P 500 down 7. Also weighing heavily on the Dow today, IBM and stock falling over 3%.
I'm tired of Casey talking about drugs. I got my kids in the car.
Sucks. Change the channel.
Casey, you used to be family-friendly programming. Now you're not. I had that call a couple years ago. You used to be so family-friendly. My kids can't listen to you anymore.
And also by its Frito-Lay snack business.
Okay.
Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
I got tons of kids who listen. What's up, Tattoo Lover 26? Not 27.
30% of Americans who are planning home improvements
Axel's got test on there. Sorry, I had to go get some drinkage, man. I forgot to play a commercial for you all.
A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year
Jukes.
fixed rate mortgage.
130. Spelled hello wrong.
4.5%.
Yeah, you did.
Put an extra L.
An extra L. He puts the hell in hello. Because there's an extra L.
Hello, I'm Les Anderson, owner of Signs of the Times. We're a full-service site.
We're on a commercial break right now.
Going on 14 years.
For those of you who do not listen to us on a regular basis,
Services we offer, the
they will not let me carry the radio station's commercials during the commercials.
that our business has grown, and when we give you something on a proof,
Yeah, I do. And I don't have... So, true story,
it's a notch above.
somebody snagged my cottonmouth solution. So I used to have some cottonmouth solution that I put right here, and you switch with it, and it gets rid of cottonmouth. It's really good stuff. And I came in one day, and somebody snagged it from me. Bastards. So, and I haven't got it anymore. It's expensive, so I hadn't got it anymore. It's one of those vocal tricks that people get. So I just got water with me right now. I don't have coffee, which is sad. I need coffee.
Apparel and fleets. Display your brand with Signs of the Times in Elkhart.
Welcome, Kami Ju.
And now, a quick comparison from Grasshopper. When picking a phone number for business, what sounds more professional? Your personal number?
Just found you on here. Oh, nice. Good deal. Good deal. Actually, somebody found us through the hashtag. Well, we appreciate you hanging out. We'll be back on the air here in
45 seconds.
in 45 seconds. We're going to talk about 3D printed goods. John Stossel's got a bit on it because CNN is still pitching a damn fit.
Awesome.
Because everybody's afraid of crap that doesn't exist and can't be used in the way that they say it.
It starts with building Capital One cafes.
Yeah,
Warm,
it's-
inviting places that feel
He actually
nothing
brings
like
up the
a
point that
typical
I
way.
brought up. He's like, should the
You can
Anarchist
open an
Cookbook be
account
banned
with
then?
no fees or minimums in
Which has
5
been in
minutes.
publication since the
And
70s.
you'll always find people ready to help you.
The writer of the Anarchist Cookbook wants it taken off of the shelves, and they won't take it off the shelves. Like, he regrets writing it. I watched a whole documentary on him.
Select locations. Copyright 2018 Capital One.
All right, here we go. Well, I understand that, Frank. I was trying to work out a way that would make it, I don't know, sound a little bit more clean, if you will.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number to join the program, 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. And please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I also want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range. Once again, if you mention me, you get 50% off your range time. You also get 10% off in the store and listener-exclusive discounts on firearms. You can go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. Okay, so 3D printed guns back in the news again. John Stossel wrote an article about this for Reason.com. He says, "Are you afraid 3D printed guns are coming? Virtually undetectable," shrieked CNN. "This changes the safety of Americans forever," shrieked MSNBC. So then John Stossel. Those are actual quotes, man.
I believe you.
Actual quotes. We've played the montages, dude. They are afraid of this crap. And it's, again, as a 3D printer, somebody who does it both recreationally and professionally, as a Second Amendment enthusiast, okay, and of course a radio talk show host and a media personality here, I always found it amusing that they're so fundamentally flawed in their basic knowledge. I should say not flawed, deficient in their basic knowledge of firearms and 3D printing technology that they're so afraid of something that can't happen. Not right now, anyway. Not with the technology that we have. And what's funny, so when I did the video, in fact, if you're watching my Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Casey the host, go into my videos. I posted a video of the segment that I did about 3D printed guns. Okay. Now, I also posted that on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, youtube.com/Casey the host, you can just, on my channel, just search for 3D printed guns. You'll get it. It was a while ago. It'll be easier to find on Twitch than it is on YouTube because there's more videos on YouTube. But I actually had a comment on the YouTube video that they linked to the Liberator 3D printed gun when Cody Wilson first fired it. And like, oh, 3D printed guns are a real thing, right? Did you not listen to what I said in the, what is it, like 5 minutes or something like that? You not listen to this segment that I just did that you just commented on? And the answer to that is no. Everybody's pitching a fit about me and the Elkhart Truth. Like I said, those people did not come to the event. They don't know what I said. The Elkhart Truth distorted my words, took a quote that had nothing to do with the event and made it about the event and local Democrats. And they posted it. And a bunch of people who only read the headlines and up to the first couple of paragraphs of an article fell for it. Exactly the stuff that I was talking about at the event in Elkhart over the weekend. They all fell for it. So somebody who saw my take, my headline on the YouTube video, commented on my headline, but didn't bother to actually listen to what I said in the video where I broke down the technology, what can and cannot be accomplished with 3D printed firearms. And they felt the need to go and link to something that I've known about before they knew about it. Because I knew about the Liberator 3D printed gun than the vast majority of the country did. Nobody was talking about 3D printing at the time. I don't know anybody in media, like in my media, in radio, talk show host media anyway, who was talking about 3D printing other than me at that time. I don't know anybody. Okay, I was doing endorsements for 3D printing companies on my show at the time. So it's interesting to watch these people who are really Johnny-come-latelys on this all of a sudden, try to, Gavin McInnes calls this millennial splaining, where young people will try to explain something to an older person who has much more knowledge of it. 6 years ago, a company called Defense Distributed, that's Cody Wilson's company, posted blueprints for 3D printed guns on the web. That was the Liberator. The Obama State Department said that violated the Arms Control Act. It doesn't, but they said it did because it allows foreigners to see them and is equivalent to exporting a missile launcher, which is illegal. Of course, that argument is so basic and fundamentally flawed, it's laughable. They would never win this in court. Defense Distributed withdrew the blueprints. Gun control activists were relieved. We have enough. That's an oversimplification that he withdrew it, by the way. He got engaged in a legal battle that he had to protect himself legally against the State Department. We have enough guns in this country already, said Massachusetts legislator David Linsky. He told me in my new video about 3D printed guns. But this is a debate about free speech too. You can't ban lawful U.S. citizens from sharing information with other lawful U.S. citizens, says Defense Distributed lawyer Josh Blackman. After the Oklahoma City bombing, Congress asked the Department of Justice, can we make a law that bans putting bomb-making instructions on the internet? The Department of Justice said, no, you can't ban putting files on the internet. Not even files showing how to make a nuclear weapon, ? The nuclear bomb is different because it's classified information, he said. Courts have upheld restrictions on publishing classified information. Now, here's the thing. We got Julian Assange in the news right now. If Julian Assange and WikiLeaks leak out how to make a nuclear bomb in your garage, I got news for you. We're going to know how to make nuclear bombs. Nothing you can do about it. There's no way to ban it. There's no way that you can get rid of it. And if you go, well, it's different, Casey, than guns. Yeah, so sarin. Do you know what you need to make sarin gas? A trip to Home Depot. That's it. It doesn't take much. Mustard gas, that's a trip to the grocery store. To make a fertilizer bomb like in Oklahoma City, trip to the hardware store. Heck, you can go to Kmart in the garden section, although we don't have Kmart here anymore, but you can go anywhere in the garden section. Menards. Say Menards. I haven't said them yet. So, Meijer. Yeah, I already said Walmart. I don't want to give them two opportunities. You got to spread out where you're going to buy your munitions from, folks. You want to help the local economy while you do this. So the web is filled with unclassified information about how to make all sorts of deadly things. Should the Anarchist Cookbook be banned? I asked Linsky. It contains deadly recipes. I was just telling Joe, I watched a documentary about the guy who wrote the Anarchist Cookbook. It's been published since the 70s. He wants it taken off of the shelves, and the publisher says, nope, you can't. By the way, a lot of the information in there is not accurate and will get you hurt, just so you know. Okay, but it is still one of those things that is out there and has lots of good information in it that is relevant and is functional. But like I've said before, Home Workshop Prototype Firearms has been in publication since the 1970s because you can legally build a real firearm made of all metal in your garage. You are allowed to do that, all right? It's not illegal. You can make it for your own personal use. Now, if you're going to sell it or give it to somebody else, you've got to go through the FFL process. But other than that, you can do it. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
You link to both the 3D printed ones? Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Mike mentions Rural King. You can make a hell of a fertilizer bomb from Rural King. I am not advocating that you do that. I'm just saying you can. So I don't have John Stossel's 3D printed gun video. But I will screen it before tomorrow, and then maybe we will all listen to it together. What is tomorrow? Is tomorrow Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, I got a
day of the week.
No, it isn't, because tomorrow is not Friday. Joe.
Not supposed to say anything. 20 minutes ago when you walked out the door.
Who did?
We did. We were talking about it. When you walked out to get water.
Shh. John said not to mention it. Casey, have you heard about the Christian apple farmer in Michigan that can't sell at the farmer's market because of his religion? That's a new one. There was some apple. Was it apples? No, it wasn't apples. It was a berry last year in Michigan that they were not allowed to sell these berries because the government was requiring that they dump them. It was a price control thing. No, Let me look it up. Michigan apple farmer religious discrimination.
We have an Impress week, by the way.
Damn right we do. Impress with Impress, and I never put that in my line for some reason, even though it's a really good line. I've only used it like one time in a commercial. I did it in a pre-record, and then I did it one time in a live read. And it's a damn good line. That should be on all of their business cards. Impress with Impress. Speaking of, Zach is doing an Impress commercial right now. Lansing, Michigan. A farmer is suing the city of East Lansing, Michigan after he was prohibited from selling organic apples at a city's farmer market in what he claims is discrimination against his religious beliefs. The U.S. District Court of the Western District of Michigan, Southern Division, will hear a summary judgment hearing in the case of Country Mills Farms. I know Country Mills. Versus the city of East Lansing. The owner of Country Mill Farms in Charlotte, Michigan, had sold apples at the East Lansing Farmer Market without incident from 2010 to midway through 2016. In August of that year, somebody posted on the farm's Facebook page inquiring if they could host a same-sex wedding. Tens is a Catholic and said that he would not due to his religious beliefs. In response to his Facebook posting, he was initially blocked from attending future farmers markets due to concerns about protests. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Thank you for the tip. We'll chat about it. Casey, if the last caller sends you bong water, please do not drink it. Because that dude was lit. Like, his bong water is spiked with something. It's spiked with something, dude.
Yes, I can do it myself this time.
Obama people behind Pete? Question mark. LOL. Yeah, see Ballotpedia. Yep. I've been telling you for many years now that Pete Buttigieg has all of those power brokers in Chicago behind him. I mean, remember, Obama had personal meetings with him and things like that. So that's why he sounds so much like him. He's getting all of the tutelage and everything with it. Casey, why are comments disabled on your 3D printed gun video? Ask YouTube, because I didn't do it. Unless there's a setting on there to be automatically turned off after like 3 months or something like that. I mean, maybe, but I didn't turn them off. So, but YouTube was irritated and butthurt about that video. They demonetized it. They did a bunch of crap to it. Yeah.
Really, Joe? Really? You gonna play a song? You and producer Tim did the same thing. Every time I talk about guns, you play this song.
I don't get paid enough to choose what songs get played.
Yeah, he said the same thing, Joe. But it comes up every time I talk about guns. You play the school shooting song every time.
Just press the buttons.
Yeah, the button that plays the song.
Exactly. I don't know what song's up next.
Oh, sure you don't. Yeah, okay. We'll see. No, Las Vegas spam number. I do not want to talk to you. 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Have you ticked your significant other off lately? Like so bad. Joe, you have to have a significant other. Have like so bad that you know flowers aren't going to quite cut it this time. It's going to require, let's just say, a larger gesture of apology. Well, that's where Impress Jewelry Creations can help you out. In fact, they have told me stories about how this has happened. I am not kidding. So I've gone into Impress Jewelry Creations before, and I've sat there, and Kelly was telling me a story once. She was like, "Yeah, a guy came in and he had to have an apology piece," and so so we were like, well, what did you do? How big of an apology are we talking about? He told them the story, and they were able to direct him to something that would be an appropriate item to, I guess, get her to forgive him. And so he was able to make the purchase, and things worked out. But I mean, these are the little things. They're kind of like relationship counselors over there. You know, whether you're planning on proposing to somebody and you're looking for an engagement piece, if you're planning on and getting married and you're looking for those perfect wedding bands and you don't want to just get the same old boring ones that every other chain store has. You want something unique and awesome and amazing with some customization to it. You go to Impress Jewelry Creations for that stuff. If you're looking for a graduation gift, or you're just looking for an anniversary gift, or if you're just looking for, something to let that other person know that you appreciate them being in your life, whether that's male or female. Like I said, they've got stuff for men and women there, got great watch selection. They've got the William and Henry collection with knives and pens and money clips and everything else for the guys. And of course, the jewelry selection there for women is something that you have to see to believe. I walked in there the first time that I went in there, they had this big, beautiful diamond that was sitting on the case. And I said, wow, that is a beautiful stone. And they said, oh, you like this? I said, yeah. And I said, great. This one's rejected. It doesn't meet our quality. And I was blown away by what they showed me does. So they pulled out a stone that does meet their quality. And the only reason that one was on there was they were getting ready to box it up and actually send it back because it was a reject. And I thought it was this beautiful diamond. And it wasn't good enough for Impress Jewelry Creations. That's the quality that you're going to get. The craftsmanship, everybody there, they've been working together for so long, and all of that stuff, all the work that's done, the custom pieces, that's all done in the back, right there in the building. It's not outsourced to a third party or anything else, okay? It's all done at Impress. Go to impressjewelers.com. Of course, you can get in touch with them in person if you want to go see their showroom, and I recommend that you do. 1233 University Drive. 1233 University Drive. They're in City Plaza. They're right next door to Temper Grill and C. Kramer Interiors. And of course, when you're in Impress Jewelry Creations, make sure you let them know that I sent you. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. Listener on the live stream just sent this to me. And so in case you've heard about that farmer in Michigan who can't sell his apples at the local farmer's market. Now, this is in Lansing, Michigan. There's a farmer there who's suing the city of East Lansing. And he is suing because somebody had posted on Facebook. He's been selling at the farmer's market for a long time, but somebody had posted on Facebook if he would host a same-sex wedding. And he's Catholic, so he said that he would not due to his religious beliefs. And obviously he's got the orchard there. And in response to that, he was blocked from attending future farmers markets because they were afraid that there would be protests. And then afterwards, the East Lansing city manager introduced a new civil rights ordinance that would bar any vendor who engaged in any discriminatory practices from selling at the farmers market, which is interesting. Now, the Facebook description of the Country Mill Farms page, our family farm seeks to glorify God by facilitating family fun on the farm and feeding families. So you know that they were targeted, all right? Anybody who has a business now that advertises that they are a Christian, I should say, because they leave Muslim places alone, but they are immediately targeted. We saw this with Memories Pizza here. We saw it with other businesses elsewhere, obviously Colorado, and we have the Masterpiece Cake Shop and everything else. So people see that they're religious and they go, ha, ha, ha. So we're going to go and go after them and try and make a case here. And that's exactly what happened. He advertised his faith and people targeted him. So now he is suing. Country Mill Farms was rejected from a 2017 farmers market due to the ordinance of East Lansing. The mayor explained at the time, saying that the city rules applied to the farmer, even though the farm is located 22 miles away from East Lansing. Later in 2017, a judge granted a temporary order that allowed the farmer and Country Mills Farms to return to the farmers market for the rest of the 2017 season. In the order, the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Michigan, Southern Division, wrote, on the evidence before this court, the city amended its vendor guidelines and then used the changes to deny Country Mills' vendor application, which is what it seems to be. So he's now suing as a result of that. So we'll keep an eye on that story for all of our Michigan listeners out there, and we'll give you updates on it as we see fit. Thank you to the listener who posted that in the live stream, so we're able to go ahead and track it down and talk about it today. We got another hour to go. Don't forget, you can watch the live stream. Go to youtube.com/CaseyTheHost. You can go to twitch.tv/CaseyTheHost. And, of course, you can listen to the audio stream at 953mnc.com. More coming up on 95.3 MNC.
WTRC-FM and HD1. Niall.
Wasn't it Channel 57 that went after the pizza joint? Yep, sure was. Nope, wasn't Mom. That one wasn't Mom. Although my mom does call in the middle of the show on a routine basis. she takes it upon herself to call me personally anytime any of you on the live stream say that there's an issue. So she'll text or call me on the show. But no, it was not her. I have a lot of. First of all, I'm on the list of the political parties in Las Vegas for some reason. Somebody gave them my number, probably in some voter fraud case, and now they all call me about their candidates. But there's also some of those scam calls and things like that are happening, and they all come from Vegas because they basically spoof. They think I'm in Vegas because of the area code, and so they spoof the numbers, and then
because you don't want to change your number because you're a normal human being.
Right. Yeah, I still have my Vegas number.
Which is fine.
Yeah, people go, "Oh, you still have your Vegas number?" And I go, "Yeah, why not?" "Oh, does it mean you want to go back?" No.
No, it's just easier not to have
Yeah.
anyone change the number.
Now I'm getting to the point where I want to change it because I'm sick and tired of all of you people calling me. But eventually that will happen. Just not right now.
Too much work.
It is a lot of work. But then I tell myself, wait a minute. You don't want to hear from any of these people again. So it really isn't a lot of work. So a short list, I'll be okay.
Pro and con list is what you need, Casey. You set up a pro and con list.
No, I just need a pro list and then everybody else gets nuked. I don't need a pro and con list. I need like 5 names and then everybody else gets nuked. Tattoo Lover 26. The noob on Twitch. I remember back in 2014 when CNN was a real news network. Now it's a freak show. And George Carlin spoke about 20 years. You know what? I'm glad you referenced George Carlin because he did warn about this. It was a great bit, by the way. Comment says 57 is such an awesome station. Not. Hey, I will say this, all right? And I feel that it's important to offer this clarification. There are some good people at ABC 57.
Yes.
And they're our people at ABC 57. So it's not everybody, all right? There was an incident where, remember at the time, look, they had an openly gay anchor. I have no doubt that he pushed that story for Memories Pizza. They set up Memories Pizza. It was a whole thing. They sent the young reporter out there to do it. It probably wasn't fair to the young reporter, but there are some good people at ABC 57. There really are. So, and I don't look. You hear me rip on NDU all the time. There's some good people at NDU too. And like I said, I get the messages that I get from people who work at those networks when they tell me the conversations that happen there. They're irritated just like anybody else. It's just that a lot of the people who make it on air. And by the way, I don't know any of the new anchors at ABC 57 because they've had a recent changing of the guard, if you will. And I don't know any. I just know Tom Coombs. Tom Coombs is a good dude. We make fun of him a lot because he's oily on TV. But he's a good dude. He really is a good dude. And we've done events with him and everything else. He's super nice. He's great to hang out with. But, you know, it's important to note that there are good people there, and not everybody who works at these networks is crazy.
Related spending in the U.S. this year is expected to be $18.1 billion, or $151 per person celebrating. They say $2.5 billion of that will be spent on candy. Their numbers also show 59% of us eat our chocolate bunnies ears first, and the most expensive chocolate.
So Danelle is saying that, huh? What?
They're talking about a study that says how people eat their chocolate bunnies. People usually eat their ears first. Yeah, because it's top to bottom.
Right.
Do you eat it butt first? Because that's weird.
How much do they spend on that study?
I don't know, but they were talking about how much money people are going to spend on Easter stuff.
Oy vey.
Or have already spent it on.
So Danelle is saying that basically the Bible doesn't say that you can't let gay people use your property. I don't really understand denying the service thing. So look, there's different philosophies on this, and like for instance, I would have no issue with it. Like I've talked about getting certified to do the marriage thing. You know, marry people. Ordained. That's it.
Online.
So you can do it online, yeah. But you know, people have asked me if I would do that. Yeah, I would do that. I just haven't found the time to do it. And then I've had other people go, yeah, but would you do a gay wedding? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't care. There are others who believe that participating in the event, it's not about gay people, it's about the event and believing that the marriage violates a religious tenet of man and wife, okay? So different denominations of Christianity have different philosophies on how they handle that. Some of them are against even participating in that event. Others don't care. So it just kind of depends. And like I said, I have my beliefs. Others have their beliefs. It is what it is. If you don't see eye to eye, that's fine. At the end of the day, for me, it's a constitutional issue. You have a right to do with your property as you want. And if you don't want to host an event there, I don't think you should be forced to. But others do. Others believe that if you operate in the public space, you should be forced to accommodate everybody. I don't buy into that. I don't like that. I don't think that Muslims should be forced to participate. I don't think that Jews should be forced to participate, and I don't think Christians should. So I don't think an atheist, frankly, should be forced to participate in a religious ceremony either. If you're an atheist and you own a business, you shouldn't have to cater a wedding cake for a very Christian wedding. If you're an atheist and that violates your beliefs, then that you should be allowed to opt out of that. I don't have an issue with that.
And for a record 9 years in a row, JD Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's supposed. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, thank you, Tattoo, for pulling that across. Yeah, we were hearing that it was ready, and that everybody's been kind of ramping up their arguments and things like that. Pelosi's already pivoting away from it, but we'll make mention here since they've made the announcement today. We've been waiting for it all day, so glad that came through, and thank you for the update. I appreciate it. Here we go.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. By the way, people have various questions about if Impress Jewelry Creations carries certain types of jewelry for certain types of events, and they are giving me various events, some of which I can't mention on the radio, but I will just say this. I don't care what the event is. If you feel it warrants a jewelry purchase, go to Impress Jewelry Creations, okay? Whatever you did, all right? It's like those I'm sorry cakes that have the funny messages on there. Whatever you did that needs some jewelry, go to Impress. All right, that's just. Although some of the things that people are asking me about probably are beyond the point of redemption, but you can always try, and your best chance is with Impress Jewelry Creations. All right, okay. Somebody on the live stream just said, "Hey, they just got a news alert coming through here that." The information about the Mueller report is going to be released tomorrow. We've been waiting for it all day. Basically, they're saying that it's ready. The redactions have been made. They will talk about it. So at 9:30 tomorrow morning, the Attorney General will have a news conference on the Mueller report. So we appreciate that. That came from the live streamer at Twitch, by the way. So twitch.tv/Casey, the host. And we've been waiting for this all day. Pelosi's already kind of shifted away from focusing on the Mueller report. She kind of issued a statement today about kind of moving away from that. But you've seen people on the left and people on the right kind of positioning themselves because we know that the report is ready. The redactions have been made, and we're going to be able to see what the report actually says. And like I said, Mueller did not challenge what the Attorney General wrote in his 4-page summary, and we expected him to. In fact, Barr had said that he had asked if Mueller wanted to review his 4-page summary. Mueller declined that. I will say, so I've learned something very interesting. You know that Robert Mueller has only made one political contribution in his professional career to a candidate. Only one. Anybody want to guess who that is? Nobody? Bill Weld, the guy challenging Trump in the primary. He did it in the 90s. Of course, Weld was a district attorney, I think he was. So, pretty interesting. I didn't know that. Didn't know that about Robert Mueller. All right, 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. So look for the press conferences tomorrow, 9:30 in the morning. about the Mueller report. What do we have here? A bunch of people pitching a fit about Democrats going on Fox News. Do you see that Trump attacked Brett Baier? Smiley Brett Baier. Did you see that? It was a weird thing to do. Brett Baier is one of the most fair journalists out there. I would anchors. I will say anchors. I love Brett Baier. Brett Baier is right down the middle. He's a good guy. I like what he does. What do we have here? Walt Disney is donating $5 million to the Notre Dame Cathedral rebuilding. Hold on a second, because Notre Dame was it like $100,000 though? Hold on, I want to make sure that I get the pledges for cathedral. Shouldn't be Google searching in the middle of the program. I apologize about that, but France's 3 richest families have led a $700 million fundraising effort for the Notre Dame Cathedral. Ubisoft pledged $500,000. I have to look it up during a commercial break because I don't want to get too bogged down in it. But the University of Notre Dame has, all right, Joe's doing it. Earn your minimum wage there, buddy. So the university is barely more than minimum wage. The University of Notre Dame is also obviously pledged some money to this, but I think that Disney is outpacing them. So it's your namesake. I mean, come on. You're the University of Notre Dame. What is their endowment? It's something like $3.5 billion or something like that. Like you can help out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Just throwing it out there. All right. 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595953. Do you remember me telling you the story of the Laguna Beach Police Department yesterday with the patriotic vehicles? Did you see that the crowd of Laguna Beach residents in the People's Republic of California began singing the national anthem on Tuesday after the city approved the patriotic design for its police vehicles? Council members voted on Tuesday night to keep the red, white, and blue lettering despite backlash from those who said it was too aggressive. One guy stood up and said it was traumatizing. How'd you like to have him as a dad, kids? So the council said, yeah, no, we're going to keep the patriotic lettering on our police vehicles, and the crowd busted out and started singing. Yes, I love seeing stuff like that. It's so good to see people actually care about their country and rebuff these other individuals, if you will, because you don't get to see that a lot. People right now, you get attention for hating America. You don't get attention for loving America, and that's really sad, and that's not how it should be. All right. What do we have here? Okay, so Silicon Valley. Now, I've told you about these think tanks before. All right, so think tanks are a bit of a problem. One of the things that you get when you deal with legislation, all right, with legislation in Washington, D.C., they name it in such a way that it makes you think it's something that it's not. For instance, the Affordable Care Act, which is not affordable care. It actually makes your health care more expensive. You have less access to it, and it covers less, right? So they misnamed it, and it's all branding and marketing. The whole point of naming your piece of legislation is to get people to buy into it and to like it, even if it doesn't do what the name says it does. So this also happens with think tanks. So think tanks will often name themselves, political action committees name themselves in certain ways that get people kind of deceived in how it is that they operate. So this is the Intercept.com. Silicon Valley funded privacy think tanks fight in D.C. to unravel state-level consumer privacy protections. Okay, I thought you were supposed to be a privacy think tank. Why are you arguing against privacy protections? This is kind of like net neutrality. Who benefited from net neutrality? Now, if your answer was the people, congratulations, you're brainwashed. If you answered Google, Facebook, and Twitter, congratulations, you win. Google, Facebook, and Twitter, they made a lot of money because the way that net neutrality was orchestrated, it benefited those three big platforms, right? And it actually led to a ton of advertising revenue for them because of the way that the rules were written. After years of ignoring the issue, lawmakers on Capitol Hill are suddenly engaged in a furious fight over enacting national legislation to establish basic online privacy rights for consumers. As with the crafting of much legislation dealing with complicated issues, legislators are relying on experts to help codify the consumer protections. In a twist that is all too familiar in Washington, D.C., however, many of the groups that have positioned themselves as expert voices on consumer privacy are pushing for a bill that hews closely to tech industry interests, not yours. Lawmakers who are famously ignorant on technology issues are hearing largely from an army of industry lobbyists and experts funded by social media companies, online platforms, data brokers, advertisers, and telecommunications giants. Remember, Facebook wants government to regulate the internet, okay? Zuckerberg is on record as saying this. That should scare you. By the way, anybody know who went to college with Zuckerberg? Anyone? His name is Pete. Just throwing it out there. Zuckerberg was in South Bend not too long ago. They're buddy-buddy. So anyway, the article continues. The very same corporate interests that profit from the collection and sale of internet data. So if we are crafting legislation right now that is to protect consumer and user privacy, but the people who profit off of your information, violating your privacy, are the ones writing the legislation and advising the members of Congress, do you think that your privacy rights are going to be the best, in the best hands here? Do you think that the legislation is going to be written with your best interest in hand? Do you think it's going to be written in the interest of the companies who make money off of your information? We'll continue with this coming up in just a couple of minutes. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
News Talk 95.3.
For Notre Dame, when you're trying
I know you keep getting the. Hold on, I think 95.3 has it. Hold on a second.
Well, I have the Disney number.
Well, I already said the Disney number on the air. Doesn't help me.
I'm trying. Well, I'm doing my best here, Casey.
Okay, just hold on a second, dude. Just relax. Former House Speaker Paul Ryan to lecture at Notre Dame. Somebody was talking about that yesterday with his financial class. Okay, the University of Notre Dame is donating $100,000 to the Paris Cathedral.
Yeah.
$100K. $100K. Do you know how long it takes Notre Dame to make $100K? They just made $100K. Like per second, they make $100K.
They have a lot of news traffic right now because of their new mascot lineup.
Yeah, I know, because of the black leprechaun, which was on the news earlier. We joked about that. That was pretty funny. Because they've had it before, so it's they've had a black leprechaun before. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a black leprechaun." That I don't know. I don't know if they've had a female before, but somebody said that she would look funny without the beard, or with the beard. So the University of Notre Dame is only going to donate $100,000 to the renovation of the Paris Cathedral. Ubisoft Gaming is donating $500K. If you donate 20% the amount to renovate and rebuild your namesake, 20% of what a gaming company does. Did Ubisoft make Assassin's Creed? They did. Okay.
Yeah, they're the people who make it. Yeah. It's their thing. That's how they got super famous.
I was
also Just Dance. Fun fact.
Yeah, because Ubisoft didn't do anything before Assassin's Creed.
They made Just Dance and several other things. But
Ubisoft was when they were huge when I was a kid.
They're super big. Claim to fame.
Now, yeah,
they're big.
That's their big
flagship.
Somebody was saying, I think it was Reason.com, that they were saying that the Notre Dame Cathedral in the game might be used to rebuild it because they did such a detailed recreation of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, so they have like all of the blueprints and CAD files and everything.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, so I saw the article on that. I was like, how? But I didn't really read it. But that makes sense because they usually do a pretty good job with their city building.
VHN go blue. says it's only 100K because they try to hide how much money they have.
Yeah.
You know what? They do try to hide how much money they have, even though we know what their endowments are. But it is weird how much they promote when they get like a $200 million donation from somebody. So-and-so donated $200 million to the University of Notre Dame. And then, of course, we have all the news articles about it. And everybody looks at it and goes, wow, you couldn't do something important with that $200 million? Can you imagine what $200 million would do for the homeless population of the city of South Bend? Could you imagine what that would do? Think about it.
If used correctly.
But you could build a big, giant homeless facility or several around the city to where they had a place to go.
Right.
Because right now the problem is space, right?
Yeah.
All of the charities, St. Margaret's House, 5 Star, all of those charities could be fully funded annually with that $200 million. And instead you give it to an organization that's worth billions and makes hundreds of millions every year on its own. But hey, you'll get a building with your name on it. I would be okay with a park bench.
Do they have any kids going to that university now?
Have any what?
Did they have any kids going to that
You
university?
bet your ass. You think $200 million, you know what that does? That buys you at least 5 generations of kids going to that university without any questions being asked.
Improving your appearance or improving your overall dental health. No insurance, no problem.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, we got some Notre Dame people too. So it was actually really uncomfortable because one of our coworkers is married to somebody at Notre Dame, and we were at one of the events that we had, and one of our people looks over at them and goes, yeah, "What is their endowment now anyway?" And she was very uncomfortable because she knows what it is. Her department has direct access to it, but she's like, "Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about that." I think the last I heard it was like 3.6 billion or something like that. And that's just the funds sitting there, not doing anything.
They need it for recruiting purposes.
Yep. Hey, I don't care.
Sports teams are so good.
Dude, I am all for colleges being able to pull out all the stops to recruit somebody. I don't care. That's a business, and you're recruiting an adult. If you want to give them a car, I don't care if you give them a car. I just don't think it should come from the taxpayers. That's it. But if you want to give them a car, heck yeah, give them a car. Not my beef.
Well, the birds are back in town. This spring sunrise is a beautiful sight. That's no sunrise. That's the yellow van.
Do-ba-do-ba-do.
Does he have a park in Europe somewhere?
Well, they used to have Disney Europe, but I think they closed that down years ago. Didn't they? Let's find out. Disney Europe. Oh, come on, Casey. You can spell. I remember when they opened it. Yeah, Disney Paris is closed. Oh, no, but it's just closed right now.
It's closed currently. Opens today on the 3rd.
So Disneyland Paris is still there. And they have a Disney store in France. So, there you go.
The University of Notre Dame is donating $100,000 to rebuild their namesake, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France. Ubisoft Gaming, which makes Assassin's Creed, which featured the cathedral, is donating $500,000. So, University of Notre Dame kind of coming off like cheapskates here. What else is new, Joe says? I'm throwing it out there. You know, it's so. I mean, Disneyland's donating $5 million, but we actually looked it up. They do still have Disneyland Paris that's still open. I thought that closed down like years ago. I remember there being like a whole thing about how nobody ever went there because they didn't understand the whole mouse thing, and they couldn't it's not a cultural thing with them. It's an American deal. So I don't know what their finances are now, but pretty interesting. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. So back to the privacy think tanks. Do you remember me telling you about how many think tanks in Washington, D.C. are funded by the Chinese government? Remember that story? That was an amazing story because a lot of them, so-called libertarian think tanks, things like that, which occasionally start coming out with these really weird things that don't make a lot of sense. And like, you're not really doing what your think tank says it should be doing. It turns out it's because they're funded by the Chinese government. But the Center for Democracy and Technology, this is all about how these privacy think tanks in Washington, D.C. are helping lawmakers draft this new bill that is to protect user and consumer privacy rights, your rights when you're online. However, the privacy think tanks that are advising the politicians on doing this are actually funded by the social media companies that make money with your private information. So do you think that they have a vested interest in protecting your privacy, drafting this legislation, or protecting the companies? He testifies before committees on privacy legislation and is a prime mover in the national online privacy bill discussion. Late last year, the organization circulated draft federal privacy legislation that would nullify major state-level regulations. And in March, when the Senate Judiciary Committee held its first hearing of the session on how to formulate a federal consumer privacy standard, the center's Privacy and Data Project Director, Michelle Richardson, testified. The Center for Democracy and Technology is also awash with corporate money from the tech sector. They are funded by Amazon, Verizon, and Google. They are among their top corporate donors. They each provide over $200,000 to the group. AT&T, Verizon, Uber, and Twitter are also major donors. Well, Verizon was already mentioned earlier, but they wrote it again in The Intercept anyway. Last Wednesday, the group hosted its annual gala known as the Tech Prom. Okay, can we stop with this prom crap for just a second? Okay, sidebar. I know I'm getting on a sidebar here, but we're just going to run today's show like a podcast instead of a professional radio show. If you are an adult and you need to go to prom, grow the heck up. First of all, prom sucks. Second of all, act your age. Third of all, you don't need to dress up in a stupid little outfit and go to prom. You're in your 40s. Get over it. If you didn't go, you didn't miss much. A lot of bad dancing, a lot of people in gaudy outfits, and you had some awkward fooling around afterwards, if you were lucky. If you weren't lucky, trust me, you didn't miss out on much, okay? It gets way better later on. But I know, none of your sweet little angels do this on prom night. I get it. It's not prom season yet, is it? Is it prom season right now?
Everyone is getting their dresses figured out, and people are reserving their tuxes, and it'll be end of the month and next month.
Don't get a tux. I mean, if you need to rent something, get a tux. But if you're going to buy something, just buy yourself a suit so you can use it when you go to a job
big
interview.
Chain stores to get your tux. You're getting robbed.
What?
Go to
Shame on you. You're trying to damage potential advertisers on this station?
No, I never named any names. I never named names.
I'm just saying, if it's a one-day thing only, all right, get a tux. But if you are going to do the suit thing, buy yourself a suit. So you have a suit. Because you're going to need a suit for like jobs and stuff and special occasions. And when people invite you to host their Lincoln Day dinner and you don't have a suit because you don't own one anymore. So get a suit. I will not be wearing a suit to the Lincoln Day dinner. I just want everybody to know that. I will not. I am anti-suit now. Although I am considering adjusting my style for the forthcoming second half of 2019, but we will see. I really do like my hoodies. I like dressing like
they are comfortable.
I mean, you know, I looked at my, I was in Walmart the other day and they had hoodies that were short sleeves. It is so trailer trash. And I looked at them and was like, that looks really comfortable. And I told my wife about it. She goes, I will divorce you. Ooh. I was like, do not threaten me with a good time. All right. But I don't know. They were like $4 or something like that.
Wow.
I was all over it, man. Anyway, back to your privacy. So they held their tech prom, which brought together lobbyists and government affairs officials from leading Silicon Valley and telecom firms, Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. None of them are bad companies with your private information. Purchased tables at the event and served as sponsors, a privilege that came in exchange for, you ready for this? $35,000 donation. All you do is give them $35,000. Now, if you are buying tables at this organization's private events where everybody gets to pretend that they go back to prom, and you're paying $35,000 a pop, and you're funding them annually with over $200,000, do you think maybe you have a say in what they tell politicians when they help draft legislation on privacy regulations? Think maybe if you give them $200,000, you might have some influence in that. So, is anybody out there, anyone, think that Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, and even Twitter, and Verizon, and Uber, and all of these companies, AT&T was on there as well, do you think any of them have a vested interest in protecting your privacy? Anyone? I didn't think so. But those are the ones that are writing the legislation about consumer privacy on the internet. Isn't that nice? What a wonderful world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of people that have advocated for the right to be forgotten legislation that Europe has in the United States. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I used to kind of be opposed to it. I don't think that I am anymore. After seeing what the internet has done to some people, I think I might be in favor of that. 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. MNC News Time is 5:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station. MNC.
By early Thursday, and Thursday will have a stormy start. Highs in the low 60s, thunderstorms to start the day, not looking severe. Rain continues into the afternoon as temperatures fall into the 50s. In the ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Coombs.
News powered by Temper Grill. Make plans this week to experience the unmatched style of Temper Grill. Seating is limited. Call or visit TemperGranger.com today.
When we say food with attitude, what we mean is the
Sorry, I had the station audio on. This is the knife that I make the sheaths for. So for that company. Brand new, so it's a little stiff. But so law enforcement and some MP guys use this.
Visit Thursdays to check out Roman's ridiculous list, or upgrade your evenings Tuesdays through Saturdays with the
It's a shop. Let's see what the factory edge does. Oh wait, that's really thick. That's not normal paper. Here we go. Here we go. That's prime table. I don't need prime table. It's not bad for a factory. It's kind of designed to cut different things though. There we go. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And folding knives are a pain in the butt to make sheaths for. Pain in the butt. It's all those curves there, man. They get stuck in the Kydex. So it's a flipper. So use your index finger and flip it. It's a little stiff because it's new, but it's a really good knife. It's a really good company. And they, like I said, they primarily sell to military and law enforcement. And they needed a sheath that would work on a duty belt. So they came to me for prototyping on it. And it was a pain in the neck, but we finally got one that works. So, nope, it is, and it's got the carbon fiber on there and the G10, so it's got really good materials. It's built to carry on duty, so it's got a really thick blade. It's awesome. You only need the holder because we're talking about law enforcement. So it has a belt clip. So if you buy it as a civilian, you just carry it like a pocket knife. But this has to have.
I hope it doesn't get caught on your seatbelt if you're sitting on the passenger side and then your clip breaks and it's really annoying. Not that I would know anything about that. Knives. No.
Never happened. Never. What? Did you break the clip?
The clip broke. It got caught on my seatbelt sitting in my dad's truck. Got out and I just heard a rattle.
See,
what the
Jesus.
Where's my knife?
Good Lord.
Here, good rope. Clean off.
Yeah, so they carry it on their duty belts and things like that. So it has to have a malice or a molly clip on there. You broke the clip, snapped it right off. Son of a bitch.
It was also moving again too.
It was?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I also feel like the blade plate's getting much better.
Oh yeah, that's way worse. I picked up some supplies today. You know what? Bring this with you tomorrow.
I usually do. It's always with me.
Okay, bring it with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, I do a lot of Kydex work for the military and law enforcement, but that particular knife, he sells. That's not my knife. I just make the sheath for it. He sells the knife to police and military, so because he trains police and military.
Business number, courtesy of Grasshopper. It was a pleasure meeting you. Our number is 1-833-IT-TROOP. Give us a call anytime. There's no contest. Put your
Whoops, that was creepy. What was creepy? What did I miss? Did I miss some creepy stuff?
Try it free at grasshopper.com. What does building a better bank look like? It starts with building Capital One cafes. Warm, inviting places that feel nothing like a typical bank.
All right, so let's go over the Indian. Yeah, buddy. Been enjoying my scout past few days.
What's in your wallet? For consumers only, offered by Capital One and
Speed. I saw that you sent them. I haven't been able to look at them. And that is purely because I don't have the internet where I'm at, and I have used my high-speed internet on my phone, so everything is like super, super slow. So I haven't really been going to it. I saw that you sent them. I haven't been able to read through them yet, but thank you so much for sending those. Here we go.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send me a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I do want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. Once again, if you mention me, you get discounts on everything in the store, 10% off. Okay, that includes ammo, it includes reloading supplies, it includes targets, all of that stuff, and so much more. But you also get listener-exclusive discounts on firearms. That is not included in that 10% thing. So you get better deals actually on boomsticks if you mention me. And then you can take them and you can go ahead and go right into the range where you save 50% on your range time and you get to shoot for twice as long. How awesome is that? Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. A couple of text messages floating in about Notre Dame not ponying up a lot of money for Notre Dame. Notre Dame must be strapped for cash since they've got back into the concert venue business. They haven't mostly done since the 70s. Okay. We've had a couple of concerts there. One or two that had a little bit of a crowd. Garth Brooks had like a few people there. Just a smidgen. I mean, they still talk about that, for crying out. I still have people next door who won't shut up about the crowd at Garth Brooks.
Is Pulse Fest still held at Notre Dame?
The hell is that?
It's a Christian concert festival thing.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Is that there? I don't know.
It was in the ice arena.
In the ice arena.
I don't know if it's still happening or not. Oh, no. They never mind.
Or the old one.
They don't have it anymore.
The old ice arena.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
but they don't do that anymore. They do a tour thing and everything.
I got you. By the way, if you've not watched a game at the Compton, you have to. God, that place is awesome. Casey, you would think that an institution that has millions of dollars that were willed to them that they never touch would have access to at least 500 Gs. Oh, they have access to it. They're just not doing it. If there's one organization that you would expect to do something about this, it would be the University of Notre Dame. I mean, it's, but Casey, Notre Dame now has a female leprechaun, so they're forgiven for their greediness. There you go. Casey, what about the terrorists in Terre Haute getting ready to be released? Yeah, the release date has been announced. So good to know. Like I said, look, in the United States of America, you're going to serve more time, have more punishment for pirating music than you would for attempting to kill people as a terrorist in this country. That's just an unfortunate and sad reality. So, all right, 574-25-95-95-3. All right, we increasingly live in an insane world where everything has kind of become a buzzword, if you will. And I wanted to tell you about this. This is on the Daily Caller. I'm going to put it in the because I can't play the whole video here, but we will put it in the Daily Show Prep. So you go to theburningtruth.us. It'll be there. It says the left has enough new terms to fill a glossary, so that's what we did. So they actually went out there and made a glossary of these things, which I found amusing. Members of the progressive movement have created enough new terms for themselves to fill a glossary, so that's what we did. Some of these terms you may know and understand, but others are far more obscure. Either way, everyone has something to learn about the left's ever-expanding lexicon. In 2012, one of the things that I noted when I was covering that campaign, everything became racist. And we used to have a running list every single week of the new things that were labeled as racist simply because Mitt Romney was running. And I mean, we got a whole host of simply saying the word Chicago was racist. It was considered a dog whistle. Peanuts were racist. A whole bunch of stuff. I don't even remember all of the things that we're talking about. So the Daily Caller News Foundation, basically they put together this video about all of these terms. They put it on their YouTube channel. I said, I can't really play it because the content and it's like it gets a little salty. But it is interesting and I wanted you to know about it. And it's called Do You Speak Liberal? And it says, what do these crazy terms mean? Check out our liberal glossary. So it's a whole video about this that I will put in the Daily Show Prep today, which you can get after the show at theburningtruth.us. I will also post it to Facebook I just wanted you to be aware of it, okay? So go check that out. In the meantime, some of you are still a little irritated with me about yesterday, and I'm not going to apologize, okay? I'm just not going to apologize for yesterday, because yesterday I wasn't able to do the live stream because I rode my motorcycle to work. And like I said, I don't care that you're upset because yesterday was a good day for me. All right. I enjoyed my ride to work. It was the first time that I've been able to bring the motorcycle to work. It was the second big ride that I've had on the motorcycle because I now live about 40 minutes away. So I was able to get on the bike and actually come out here on a warm day. Although today is a little warm, though it's been sprinkling in some spots. So I have to wait till like next week to be able to ride again. It looks like with any comfort anyway. But I just enjoyed it. So I got on the Indian Scout and I rode to work. And then I was able to ride over to a park and play with my kids afterwards. And then I rode all the way home. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I love being on a motorcycle. And I've even posted a couple of videos of me on the Scout. Moto vlogging is coming, by the way. So you'll actually be able to hear me talk. I'll have a microphone set up with my helmet and everything else, hopefully by the weekend. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you'll be able to kind of just hang out with me while I ride my Indian Scout. And I already had a couple of people asking me various questions about the Indian Scout. And I've also had people asking me, is it affordable? Yes, it is. It's very affordable. Is it worth it? Yes, 100%. Go take a motorcycle course. Okay. Do the course first. Find out if riding a motorcycle is for you. Then get a bike because you're going to want to. All right, you're just going to want to. And go to Elkhart Indian Motorcycle to get that bike. Now, I have the Indian Scout. They've got the new FTRs out. In fact, I saw that one of my listeners, Warren, congratulations, picked up his FTR a week or two ago, and he was able to get that. That FTR is setting the motorcycle world on fire. Everybody wants one, and for good reason. But they've also got stuff that, if you want to take long motorcycle rides, you want to be as comfortable as possible, they've got that for you, okay? Go to ElkhartIndianMotorcycle.com. You can also visit them in person at their showroom at 3016 Brittany Court. They're in Elkhart, Indiana. Go check them out. Walk in there. Let them know that I sent you there. And then, of course, follow me and my Indian Scout on social media. And we're going to do some fun stuff with it. Have some meetups and things like that where you can ride with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. ElkhartIndianMotorcycle.com. More coming up. 95.3 MNC.
We're on the Weather Watch 24 hours a day on air.
No, Michael, we had a nuclear bomb kind of go off in my life, and I was considering selling it. I didn't want to. I was considering selling it to downgrade to like a used bike or something like that, which I was still going to get at Elkhart Indian. But I love that bike. I just love that bike. And when I was able to go ahead and finally start riding it again, it was like, there's no way I can get rid of that thing. Just no way. So, I love it too much, dude. I can't do it. Can't do it. Unless we're talking about some serious medical bills or something like that. There's no reason for me to get rid of that bike. I can't do it. So I was kicking the tires on the idea just as an option and things like that. And I had some interest in it, and that was awesome. And I appreciate that, but I can't do it. Love the bike too much. Leaving the live stream. Latest speed. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I'm not getting saddlebags. I'm not going to turn my bike into a granny bike. Not going to happen. Yeah, so my computer, so I actually strapped it on to get on the bike. But as I was leaning to turn, my backpack, it has the chest strap. It doesn't have a strap around the waist. And that backpack shifted so much. For those of you who have never seen the Dragon, which is that, if you've never seen the Dragon in person, okay, that friggin' computer is massive. Think of your laptop and understand that 3 of them fit in mine. It's huge, okay? It'll swallow your computer whole, and it's heavy. So when you lean on the bike, I mean, there is a pronounced weight that shifts with it. So I've got to get a motorcycle backpack that's got the weight strap and everything that keeps that from shifting, then I'll be able to go ahead and bring it in. But it was a lot of weight that was throwing me around. So
Distribution is a supplier to the auto manufactured housing, cabinet shop, cargo, and
Mhm.
trailer industry.
I can't. So I usually put my computer in my main big pocket.
Yeah.
Since I used to put it in like.
So you need like an actual laptop bag.
Well,
or
I have
oh
one
yeah,
that
that's
has
what.
this pocket, but
Yeah.
that's how I broke my last computer because I
Oh,
forgot
okay.
to zip it. So it also has this.
Yeah.
My computer's too big to fit in here because it's too wide. Because it's a heavy computer and it's big, so it won't fit in here. So I have to start putting it in here.
But you just have to remember to zip it.
It just moves around too much in here.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of weight.
I-
And then it's like my back has to be perfectly straight now.
Oh,
It
yeah.
fills out that pocket.
Yeah, I mean this thing is just so friggin' heavy. I mean it's a gamer's laptop, you know, so it's got all the bells and whistles in it.
Ooh, gotta love them.
What's up, lumberjacks? How you doing, man?
Hey.
I just assigned you a gender. Hope you're okay with that.
So Casey needs a tailback.
Maybe. Yeah.
Get saddlebags. Yeah, that would-
Stop with the saddlebag thing, dude. I just said no. I'm not gonna make it turn into a grandma bike. Okay, we're not gonna do that. But I do need some kind of a storage solution. I'm thinking about getting just a small little bag up on the handlebars or something like that, so I can put like fast food in there if I can go to the, go grab some food or something of that nature. If I gotta stop off and pick up some drugs from my dealer, I mean, go to the grocery store, whatever, just something small that'll fit in that little bag. The saddlebags in your logo would be cool. They would be cooler, still a grandma bike. I'm sorry, I just hate the look of saddlebags. The Scout is so sexy. I don't want to ruin it by changing the aesthetics of it.
With your bike, I don't think they would.
I would say that there are bikes and a lot of Harleys, I think, that would look just fine with saddlebags. The Scout I don't know, it's designed to be naked, man. We free ball in the Scouts. It's just how it is. It's a free balling bike.
Yeah, you need a.
Yeah, I need a tank bag, Mike. That's what you're talking about.
3-point harness.
I do. I need one that has the waist strap. Mine doesn't have the waist strap. It's got the chest strap, which is great, but it's not designed for a motorcycle. If I had my old laptop, it wouldn't be a problem. With this one, there's just too much weight. Just too much weight. I'm too new of a rider to have to be in a tight turn and then have that backpack go boom. I just don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to deal with it. I'm already paranoid on sharp right turns anyway because I have to get much better at them, but...
Well, with practice will come confidence.
Huh?
With practice will come confidence.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3. Somebody said Pulse Fest went to the fairgrounds. That's where they went. So thank you for the information. Appreciate that. 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Have you guys seen this amazing... Oh, wait. First of all, okay, I got to do this one, and then I have to do this one. I did two stories that I've got to post. So this one's real quick. There's a county somewhere where 52 local Democrats, including the county commissioner, left the party in 3 days. 52 people left their party in 3 days. Where is this anyway? This is crazy. Columbia's County. So basically what it was is that the sheriff, who's a Republican, there was a ruling on whether or not he qualified to be sheriff or something like that, and these Democrats were upset that the county said that he wasn't in the county. Or the county politicians. Let me just read this story. 52 Democrats switched their voter registration to Republican or unaffiliated in the first 3 days of this week, and at least some, including County Commissioner Ricky Bullard, said that the move is because the County Board of Elections' decision that Republican Sheriff Jody Green is not a county resident. So I don't know all the details. We don't need to really go into it, but they are saying they're going. It's getting to where the Democratic Party. This is a quote. It's getting to where the Democratic Party is not like it used to be. Bullard said. He tried to explain his switch. It's full of. I'm quoting him now. It's full of Muslims and full of people who believe in aborting babies up to the 9th month of pregnancy. And even my pastor has been encouraging me to change my affiliation because of some of the Democratic Party beliefs. It was something I had planned on doing for a while. I hadn't gone ahead and done it, but when the Jody Green issue came up, I figured it was time to go. How many times have you heard me say your next door neighbor Democrat is not Ocasio-Cortez? And eventually there was going to be, that's this walk away movement. People are walking away from the Democratic Party. 52 of them just did it in this county. So Gabby Giffords, she has an organization. Of course, Gabby Giffords is that woman who was shot in the head by this crazed lunatic who was stalking her for several years. It had nothing to do with conservatives or Sarah Palin, as the media continues to spin that lie. Gabby Giffords has a gun control group, though. They did a study intended to show the danger of armed teachers, and it includes dozens of incidents in which guns literally did nothing to anybody. The study is titled Every Incident of Mishandled Guns in Schools. It opens with 31 incidents in which guns were allegedly left in places in campus where they were discoverable by students or by others. No shots were fired in 30 of the 31 incidents, and in the incident where the shot was fired, it was the result of an elementary school student pulling the trigger on a holstered gun carried by a police officer. Hey, police officer. ASDefense.com and Boomstick Holsters will take care of that for you. We do level 2 holsters too, by the way, for law enforcement. So you need a better holster, dude. In fact, 11 of the 31 incidents involved the guns of police officers and or resource officers and ended with no shots being fired. One of the 31 incidents involved a grandpa with a concealed carry license who accidentally dropped his gun, but it did not go off. Another incident counted as an example of mishandled guns in schools involved a pistol being in the trunk of a teacher's car while said car was being serviced by an automotive class. Giffords' gun control group is not only arguing against armed teachers, but against armed resource officers as well. So the school cops can't even be armed now? They cite a study from March 2019 suggesting no evidence that the presence of resource officers in schools lessens the severity of school shooting incidents. I can think of at least one example where it would have, but the resource officer kept himself outside and hid like a coward. I have also covered stories where the school resource officer, armed, has prevented shootings from happening. So I guess they haven't paid attention to those stories. I don't know. So it's real interesting to see exactly how all of this played out. But so once again, it's a deceptive study trying to tell you how dangerous things are when nobody actually got hurt and nobody was actually in any real danger except for one of those incidents out of the 31. And that was involving a police officer too, by the way. All right, folks, follow me online at Casey the Host on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on twitch.tv/Casey the Host. You can watch the live streams there, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. Sean Hannity is coming up next. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Next to your house.
All right. What were they, Alex? Oh, man. Good Lord. All right, folks, you got a few minutes. What's on the agenda? What y'all want to ask? You want to talk about? Any questions? Anything like that? We can go ahead and do that for the next couple of minutes while I'm doing the show prep, posting that up there, getting the podcast ready. I might even do my promo for tomorrow live on the stream. How about that? For some exclusive content. Huh? It wouldn't be the first time. But you got to make it big. That's what she said. So, thank you. Thank you, Al. Drinking some beer. You know what? Dude, I may make a pit stop because I am beerless and I have been craving some good beer lately. And my wife brought home Pineapple Reds sparkling whatever. What are those Reds? Are they ciders? Reds usually has. You missed a bunch of the show because of work. Do you think the report tomorrow will be loaded with Trump bashing like Rush said? I don't know. You know, I'm not really sure. We'll see what ends up happening. I assume that there's going to be some stuff in there that kind of allude to deception, if you will. But at the end of the day, the critical findings will be the same. No collusion. So we'll find out tomorrow at 9:30, though. We got to wait. Yeah, Red's apple ciders. Yeah. So she brought the pineapple one home. And now keep in mind, I have been asking her to buy me beer for about 2 weeks now. And she keeps going to the store and getting there on a Sunday after 8 o'clock because now we're on the Indiana side and we can't get beer. So it's all like weird. And so she knew that I wanted beer. But she brought home pineapple cider stuff. Yeah. So I need to get some good stuff. Yeah, I hear you, Warren. But at least you got an FTR, dude. Dig the pictures, by the way.
Also,
which Dragon's Milk? Normal Dragon's Milk, or they got a special edition out right now? Yeah.
Also, the Pulse Fest is now hosted at the Morris.
Oh, at the Morris? Is that with like that radio station though?
Pulse FM.
Yeah.
Okay. They used to host this really big summer festival, and then they started hosting it at the Ice Arena, and then they had this thing that's like takes place over several weeks throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Where they have like a couple bands show up and they do it. I went to the Skillet.
Skillet came down?
A couple years ago.
Yeah. Man, I dig Skillet. A lot of people don't know they're a Christian band.
Right. Every once in a while, I'll hear them on Bear.
Dude, yeah, they get some play on Bear, man, but I friggin' love them. And I only discovered them last year. I didn't know who the hell they were. People kept referring to them, and I was confusing them with like Skrillex. I'm like,
No, I have been since like 2009. I don't know. Whenever my brother got engaged.
Gotcha.
Because they went to my brother, and at the time his girlfriend went to this like big 3-day festival.
Right.
Skillet was there, and he proposed to her favorite song at that festival.
Cool. So the OGO Mach 3, thank you, Speed. I've got it saved. That looks like that will work just fine for me, actually.
What, the bag or the fishing rod?
No, the bag.
Oh.
The OGO No Drag Mach 3 backpack.
Nice.
That's a good bag. It's got plenty of room.
Does it have the size?
It looks like it'll be good. And yep, they've got the waist strap and the chest strap. So thank you, man. I'll check that out. He's talking about Skillet.
Very nice Christian rock.
The drummer, she did a solo project this last year, right? I think she did. Pretty sure she did. I know that she was working on it, and I thought that I saw on Twitter that they had done a launch party for her new album.
Cool. I don't follow them, but I don't follow what they do.
Yeah, the Patrol Rock maybe, but I'm also trying, if I get launched off of this thing, I'm also trying to not have things like jam into my back.
Yeah.
So, I just need something to secure that weight on that laptop because that thing is so friggin' heavy.
Yeah, they hired a backup drummer for
it. Fight the Fury, huh? All right, I'll check them out. Ledger, she's amazing. Yeah, if I were single, I would have already been turned down for a date for her.
Yeah. So she launched her solo project, and while she's on tour, they have backup drummer.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
And she brings a butt ton of energy to them when they do their videos and stuff too, man. So no, I dig her. She's a good drummer. She's talented. She's pretty. She got all the check marks.
Saving. Ice Gatorade 69.
What's up?
She also has a very good singing voice.
She does. Well, she does the backup vocals. The wife plays the guitar, and then she does the backup vocals. All right. So, any last minute questions before I bounce out? Since we're getting to wrap up. Thank you for the backpack suggestion, Speed. Appreciate that. I will get to the lure suggestions. I'm trying to put together, although our meeting ran long and I wasn't able to really talk about it today. I am trying to put together a listener fishing trip with a fishing tour boat. So it'd obviously be a pretty small event. We'd have a few people who get to go on the boat with me, but then we would, we'd go out with a professional fishing company and they would take us to where there's fish and we'd actually fish and then cook it up and party and it'd be awesome. All right, Warren, take care, bud. Speed likes that, huh? I'm trying, dude. We almost had it last year, but the people that we were going to go with last year, it was too late in the season to make it work schedule-wise, so we didn't get it done last year. So this year I tried to really hop on it. So I got one of my salespeople working on it. Hopefully we will get it. I'm trying to do more of these things that are like lifestyle stuff, man. We've got so many outdoorsmen and hunters and things like that in the audience. We need to do crap like that. Like, we just have to. And I really want to get Ground Zero Archery in here. And they have archery tag over there.
It says hour 1, it's hour 2, and hour 2 is actually hour 3.
Got it. Okay. Because there is no hour 1 because John did the show. Okay. But they have archery tag over there. So you can shoot people with arrows. They're the foam arrows and stuff. Yeah. Oh, man. Wouldn't that be fun? Just go shoot each other with arrows. I don't know why I have that microphone in my face. I don't need it. All right. 30 seconds. Get your questions in now. Damn it. Speed sent me to Revzilla. I have my Zilla cash on Revzilla too, which means I can buy stuff. Damn it. Hell yeah, archery tag sounds fun.
Paintball.
No, it's been a while. We've been trying to throw together a paintball thing for like 3 years. It just always falls through. We don't know why. Every year it falls through.
Isn't there a place locally?
Yeah, it is that place in Niles. It's an awesome place. Just for some reason, they never fully pull the trigger on it. They're always interested and they always go through the process. Huh?
Is that a pun?
Yeah, it was fun. Shoot the host. Dude, come on.
That would be fun.
All right. What does your family eat for? Huh? Easter dinner. Oh, eat for Easter dinner. A buddy of mine said that he was having steaks, and I'm like, what? First of all, I am pro having steaks for any of the dinners. We did ribeye for Thanksgiving one year. I'm telling you right now, it changed my mind about everything. But I don't think that we have done a really nice Easter dinner in a while, to be honest with you. So I don't know what she's planning, especially since we're like not in a place right now. And we're just crashing at someone's spare house. So I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to do. That's a good question.
What is my girlfriend's mother invited me to their...
I always dig lamb. Anytime you can throw lamb in front of me. Yeah.
I don't really know. I asked her, and then I don't remember what she said. But
John has to be the target for paintball. Huh?
But her mom's a decent cook, so I'm sure it'll be good.
No, I dig lamb anytime you get lamb. But no, I don't know what we're going to do for Easter dinner. I have no clue. No clue. All right, folks, I'm going to bounce out. I promised my wife would get home semi-early so she can go take care of something without the kids. and that will allow me to do what I need to do tomorrow. So I'm going to have to get out of here. So I'll put the podcast up, and the Daily Show Prep will be published here in just a few minutes. So thanks once again for watching. Subscribe, like on YouTube, follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Spread it like VD to all of your friends and followers. I would definitely appreciate the promotions on that thing. And we're going to bounce. So we'll see you tomorrow. Same bat cave, same bat time. All right. Take care, folks. Be safe.